What's poppin', YouTube? Welcome back. We are here with a Mujin video. That's right. I'm here to check out the newest Mujin video, which is about Mizkif. Oh. Let's see the full deep dive, the lore, the rise, the fall of cringe creator. But hey, hit the like button, subscribe button, leave a comment down below to feed the algorithm guads. Check out the original video, link in the description down below, because Mujin's the GOAT and we love to see a well-researched king. All right, let's get into it. And the code for today, so don't need to not skip this intro, is yikes. Yikes. Let's get it.
How do you go from averaging 6 viewers per stream to 40,000 in just a few years, reaching 192,000 on your most viewed stream of all time?
Jesus! 6 viewers? Up to them big numbies? God damn!
That was Mizkif, a normal guy who used to be a Twitch fanboy and who in just a few short years would find himself hanging out with those same streamers that he had admired, calling them friends or coworkers, and finding them reaching out to him in order to be a part of his streams because he had outgrown them. And to take it a step further, he had co-founded an organization with streamers that he used to watch in his bedroom. Streamers that were there from the absolute beginning of Twitch. Mizkif's success story was unprecedented in both its speed and scale. So how is it that you can go from the top of the world to the absolute bottom, isolated from everyone you used to call a friend? Well, all it took was one.
Yeah. So me personally, never saw the appeal of Mizkif. He just seemed like a massive douche to me. Mind you, though, I don't like a lot of motherfuckers on Twitch. But the only content I watched of Mizkif was when he did Super Mario speedrun races versus like Ludwig. I was like, ooh, I love Super Mario speedrun races. That's about it. Besides that, I'm good. All right, Bish, if you show me a speed run, I'm locked in, bro. I love a good speed run. I fuck with Ludwig. I do too. I think Ludwig is just kind of just always doing his own shit, and I like that. I don't think everybody needs to have opinions about everything. Sometimes it's nice to have a motherfucker who's just doing his own thing. Yeah. Never heard of this guy? Well, don't worry if you haven't heard of this guy, because he's pretty much off the internet now. He gave off bad vibes. I mean, there's one controversy that, like, just gave me the big ick. But I'm sure I'll be covered in the video. I'll talk about it when it comes up, rather than pre-talking about shit.
Stream from Emiru on the 25th of October, 2025. She is one of the biggest streamers in the world, and in that stream she would reveal to us that for years she was in a secret relationship with Mizkif, and in that relationship, he did horrendous things to her. To the surprise of everyone, Mizkif in just a few hours would come out with his own response during a live stream, and it would be terrible. It would be catastrophic. He would confirm the majority of the things Emiru was saying while trying to twist it into something else that didn't matter at all. He had essentially managed to make the situation 1,000 times worse, and guys, it was already terrible. And look, by now I'm...
And you might be like, okay, Mujin, this sounds a little exaggeratory, all right? Really? One live stream sabotaged everything? Yes. The live stream he's referring to, and he's definitely going to show it. I'm not going to like over-explain or spoil. We're going to let him explain it better than I can. Bro is dastardly. That man doesn't look real. What in the AI-generated fuck?
I'm sure you know how internet drama works. When it rains, it pours. And after Emiru's statement, many others would come out with their own statements about their own experience with Mizkif and how much of a terrible person he was. This once incredible success story had gone from inspirational to morbid. And Mizkif, once at the top of the streamer world, was now completely and utterly isolated. So what the hell even happened? Well, look, as someone who was chronically online on Twitch during the rise of Mizkif, I think I'm pretty well equipped to talk about this topic while also explaining to you what made Mizkif so special, how he was able to rise to fame so aggressively, only to so violently lose it all overnight.
Talk to me, Mujin. What's up?
Now. Let's do this.
Let's do it.
art comes in many different forms, like this ancient Japanese illustration in which an octopus is doing certain things to a woman. There's also this illustration of that same woman killing that same octopus. I think there's like a story there or something. But the point I'm trying to
my
make is that
tracking's
art
on.
is
I reacted so hard to the hentai, my tracking is gone. Is it still my internet? Oh, no, I'm back. What the hell just happened? Who am I? Where am I? What happened? All right, I'm still here. It's good.
Which is how I can explain the fact that I consider these 4 new sugar-free premium energy cans from GamerSubs to be pure art. You can buy one of these chosen at random for $3, and if you don't like to fool around with RNG, then you can buy a whole case, 12 of them, for $33. And the best part is that you can use the code Mujin at checkout to get 10% off your total order. And finally, if you actually do buy something with my code, then join my Discord, DM me personally with proof, and I'll give you a special roll. You'll find all the necessary
That's
links
dedication.
in the description and the pinned comment. So now, without further ado, for real, let's get to the video. Alright, so as I mentioned in the intro, Mizkif was essentially a nobody. He was an average guy, he completed college, and he was about to work a full-time job. He would have a bit of a health scare and would end up in the hospital. This would change his perspective on things, and that's when he would decide to start streaming. The only problem was that, well, he was getting 10 viewers. And as soon as he felt that he was making some sort of progress with the viewer count, reaching 24 average viewers, the next month he would go back to 6. This is the reality of being a small streamer. It's hell on earth, and he was getting very frustrated at the fact that he wasn't growing at all. This is when he would decide to diversify. He would make a YouTube channel. It was called Mizkif at the time. Today it's called Mizkif Documentaries because he renamed it. But the idea was very simple. Mizkif was a streamer fanboy. He was very active in many of their communities, which gave him a keen understanding about what makes a streamer laugh, their sense of humor, while also taking into account their community's inside jokes. He would use this knowledge to create documentaries on some of the top streamers at the time, except they'd be mostly inaccurate. They'd be full of false info and inside jokes. It was mostly meant to be comedic. That's because Mizkif was hoping to showcase his own sense of humor. His first video would be titled Who is Tyler 1? And to his massive disappointment, it would barely get any views. He'd start to spam this link in multiple communities, hoping that someone would click on it, would watch.
You know what? Yeah, I think that's a smart method to go about. I don't think it's cool to spam the link to your own video in other people's communities. I think that's kind of lame. But I think the idea for the channel was decent. I think it's cringe to like self-promo everywhere, but the video ideas I like.
Watch it, would react to it, and eventually someone would. Mizkif was truly hoping that Tyler 1 himself would react to this live on stream, but instead what he got was Tyler 1's brother, Erob221. He'd watch that video on stream, and that would be one of the most defining moments in Mizkif's career. That's because Erob would enjoy it, he'd laugh at it, and his chat would love it too. Seeing that many of the top streamers would share many viewers, they'd start to post that video in other streamers' chats too. Mizkif would then make a video titled Who is Greek God X, one of
Okay, this one I knew about because Greek God X back at that time was getting just farmed, bro. Every goddamn clip was just of him. From the eye tracker clip where he did his whole little monologue. I will be the man who doesn't look at breasts. I will press her. That shit. Yeah. And his whole weight loss journey around the same time. Yeah. I mean, he was popular before that. But, like, this is the time where I became more aware of him, was during all this shit. Why is my tracking leaving me? My face! What is happening? Where am I? What's happening? Mom? Mom? What's happening? Mom? Hello? What is happening? What is happening? I'm so glitched out today, bro. I need to switch to 2D later. Holy shit, this is getting bad.
The top streamers at the time as well, and he would react to it live on stream in front of 12,000 viewers. These videos would start to gain traction, and Mizkif was reconsidering maybe he wanted to be a YouTuber since he was finding so much success here compared to Twitch. But before he could even begin to see whether these YouTube videos would actually bring in more viewers on Twitch, he'd all of a sudden receive the opportunity of a lifetime. This is what truly changed everything. Look, by now, it's no secret. Twitch originated from Justin.tv, a
Yes,
website that
sir.
was originally made for you to be able to stream yourself to strangers while they interacted with you in chat. Twitch would be created purely for gaming content. Justin Khan, the founder of Justin.tv, would see that there was big demand for gaming-centric content, especially with the rise of esports. This is when he and his team would create Twitch.tv purely and only for gaming content. If you wanted to do more
Justin, the
vlog-centric
Tom of
content,
Twitch.
then you would just have to go to Justin.tv. However, at some point,
only friend you
Justin.tv would
need.
shut down, and Twitch would be bought by Amazon in 2014. However, around December 15th, 2016, Twitch would make a big decision. They would now allow you to do IRL streams in which you vlog yourself walking on the street, going to a restaurant, whatever. This was a very big deal because prior to this, you were not allowed to stream on Twitch unless you were playing some form of video game. And one of the first streamers who would take full advantage of this change, of this shift of content on Twitch.
If you know who this fucker's face is, press 1 in chat. If you don't know this fucker's face, press 2. I'm just curious. I'm just curious. You know what? The amount of 2s gives me hope. Because I see so many 2s, which means my community has like 0 crossover. And I love that. Except for the guy whose name is terminally online viewer saying 1. That makes sense. Your name checks out. This is Ice Poseidon. This is one of the true internet C words. I don't know if I can say the C word this early in the video. Of our generation. Okay? I cringe when I see his face. I hate this man. God, he sucks. He's one of the wholehearted reasons why streamers get a bad rep in real life. If you're wondering where nuisance streamers came from, look no further than this massive douche. Okay? Oh. Him? Alicia? I think I've heard about him in a news article or a news story where he unboarded an entire plane because he showed his full ticket on stream and his gate number. That way people could make bomb threats on about his plane, thus deboarding everyone because he's such a massive douche. Why would you ever show your plane number on stream? Showed his whole ass ticket and everything. Yeah. Oh, him. There we go. Oh, what else did he do? He put a bunch of people in his house and basically tortured them for content. Yeah. He's very, just amazing, honestly. Also scammed a bunch of people, but that's not even once. He did it like 5 times. So we'll see. Yeah. He's not Mr. Beast. No. Because at least Mr. Beast gives shit to people. This guy just doesn't give them anything. He gives them clout because you get to appear on his stream. Like, just terrible human being. Anyways, I'm very excited for you to hear about him.
Which would be Ice Poseidon. Before doing IRL, he was an old school RuneScape player who lived with his parents. What made him unique at the time were multiple factors, one of them being his very loyal and loud community, as well as his song requests, in which that community would request songs that seemed legit, that seemed real, while randomly sprinkling in the N-word and other slurs to make him react to it and then say, "You're banned," which at the time made him blow up. After the introduction of IRL streaming, Ice Poseidon would move from his home in Florida to Los Angeles, in which he would become a full-time IRL streamer. Barely 7 months after the introduction of IRL.
Yay, getting famous off of N-word reactions. Yay. I don't know, man, like 10 VTubers in the past year became famous off of saying the N-word on stream. And I don't even talk about the Japanese ones. I mean, full-ass North American VTubers just ripping that shit going, hee, it's just a word. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna fucking, I'm ending it all, bro. I'm so tired, bro. I'm so tired. Tee so funny. So funny. It's like, goddamn.
Back on Twitch, he would be featured on Rolling Stone with an article titled "On Air with LA's Most Wanted Man, Live Streamer."
I mean, Hololive saying it is very different because, again, those girls genuinely did not know. They just thought the word sounded cool in a sing-song voice. I will never hate on a motherfucker who genuinely doesn't know. I'm never going to shun somebody like that. That's whatever. If you're North American, you fucking know. Okay? You can't play that bullshit. That's the motherfuckers I'm pressed about. I don't really care about people who just have language barrier. That's whatever. That happens.
Ice Poseidon. A year later, the New Yorker would send a reporter to Ice Poseidon's house.
Is it one of their words similar to that? Nega. Nega is like when you say But again, North Americans. That's what I get pressed about. You know what I'm saying? That, be clear. Like, anyways, back I go a little bit because I've been distracted by this.
Ice Poseidon. A year later, the New Yorker would send a reporter to Ice Poseidon's house to start documenting his life. He'd end up writing a very lengthy profile about who Ice Poseidon is, what he does for a living, and how it all works. It was very in-depth and would take you around 41 minutes if you want to read it. Look, I don't even know if I can explain to you fully just how much of a big deal this guy was. You really had to be there. He was revolutionizing not just streaming, but the absolute definition of what good content was. He'd find himself in ridiculous situations and would...
So, for those of you guys who don't know, was back during this time when IRL streaming became more popular, there's a thing called the streamer backpack and the streaming backpack. And that was originated and created by Gunrun, the founder of VShojo. And that's how he really took his stride. And yeah, people were just like buying the shit out of that. That's the reason why I even had a lot of faith in him, because he made such a great product.
Make content out of anything and anyone. His community would be global. I mean, it was so powerful that you'd see random graffiti like this of him on a wall. Not to mention that even to this day in 2025, if you type...
Oh, the felon? Oh, the scammer? Yeah, but that's the reason why... Former VShojo, yeah. Like, I had so much faith in Gunrun, and a lot of the VShojo's member, right? They trusted him for the same reason I also trusted him, right? Is that he had proof in time and time again of him being successful. Which is why it hurts so much. Because when you have one success, you trust him to be successful again. And it's like, oh no. He fucked up bad. His whole company fucked up bad. And he's a problem, right? So that sucks though, because it's like, I understand completely why a lot of those people signed up for VShojo, because I'm like, yeah, I also had full faith in him too. Which sucks.
Richest man in LA on Google, you find his picture. That's something his community did on purpose so that he can go flex to random women on the street and hope to pick them up. Today,
Jesus
in hindsight,
Christ.
his content seems average, but back then he was the first to do it. He made a video, for example, about how he made $5,000 while sleeping, in which viewers could pay money to request songs to wake him up. And that's something that even streamers like iShowSpeed have done today. But what really changed everything for him was when he would do the RV trip stream, in which he would get a bunch of his friends on an RV and tour the country randomly, impromptu, and would create some of the best, most memorable content the live streaming world has ever seen. Now, tangent aside and back to Mizkif, Mizkif had made a video on his channel titled "Who is Ice Poseidon?" and Ice had reacted to it with 11,000 live viewers. He found it funny, his community loved it, and so that's when opportunity struck. Ice Poseidon's manager, Brent Caskell, otherwise known as Scuffed Steve Jobs.
Sorry, I just got so distracted. Okay, I'm gonna address this first and address chat in a second. First off, like, we're gonna start getting into the weeds of Ice Poseidon. Everything seems so nice right now. Anyway, and bouncing back, I don't think it's fair to say who took it the hardest for VShojo, because a lot of the members of it tried to make a classy statement and move on, or voice their frustrations once or twice and move on. I think they all had an incredibly hard time. And I think all of them are valid in being as hurt as they are. So saying one person took it harder than others I don't think is fair. I think everybody, right? I don't think we as viewers or we on the outside could ever know how hard other people took it. Does that make sense? We only know what we see from what they decide to give us. But a lot of those creators probably took it way harder than they actually publicly put out, right? Just want to put that out there.
that's a name Ice Poseidon's community gave him, would reach out to Mizkif and tell him, hey, remember RV Trip 1? I'm sure you watched it. We're about to do RV Trip 2. So how about you come along to the sequel of this legendary stream, and maybe you can make an actual real documentary on Ice Poseidon this time. Mizkif would immediately take the opportunity and fly out. This would be in the summer of 2018. However,
My question is, how did Mizkif's eyebrows get worse the more money he got? That's confusing. His eyebrows aren't that bad back here, but his current eyebrows are dog shit. What happened? How are they getting worse the more money you have? That doesn't make sense. Get them shits fixed.
as always, there was a complete miscommunication between Ice and his manager, with Ice introducing Mizkif as his cameraman for the trip, and that's exactly what ended up happening. There was no documentary to be made. The man behind the camera for most of the trip was Mizkif. But that's not to say that Mizkif didn't have memorable moments himself, making his own mark on the stream and being able to showcase his sense of humor. Look, overall, just like the first trip, the sequel managed to be just as crazy. And this time, Mizkif managed to be a part of it. Back during 2018, anyone who watched or had anything to do with streamers knew that this RV trip was happening and was keeping up with it in some shape or form, including the subreddit livestream fail. You see, initially, this subreddit was made purely to share fails that would occur on livestream. Since it was live, it meant that the odds of bad things happening was way higher than usual.
I want you to know, the day I ever see a dip in viewership on this channel, or I get so bored that I need extra shit to do, I'm farming live stream fails and I'm going through all the clips of the day. The day I need to start scraping some extra cash, we're going straight to the subreddit. I'm trying to pay off my house, bitch. At some point it's gonna happen. I'm not saying yet. But it'll happen someday.
Subreddit would truly peak during the H1Z1 days, in which you would see a bunch of streamer bugs, drama, and fails. Soon enough though, the subreddit posters as well as the mods themselves would realize there were only so many fails to find on Twitch or even YouTube. It's not like 100 of them happened every day. Soon it would be a place to post any highlights from streaming, whether it be funny moments, memorable moments, sad moments, you name it. But during the RV trip, both the first one and the second one, livestream fail was littered with clips from those trips. Like, you could go to that subreddit every day and the entire front page would be full of clips of what had happened the prior day, because not everyone could keep up with everything happening, right? It was the biggest advertisement Ice could have ever asked for. Hell, even bigger streamers at the time, like Dr. Disrespect, would hint that they were keeping up in some way or another with this RV trip. It was that legendary and unprecedented. This was like reality TV show without the scripts or the producers. This was reality, period. And people couldn't get enough of it. Unfortunately though, RV Trip 2 would end in a disaster, in an incident dubbed Horseshoe Bay, in which Ice Poseidon would very nonchalantly, with no empathy whatsoever, break up with his crying girlfriend live on stream because he had cheated on her with her friend in the same hotel he booked her. This turned his entire community against him, and he was overall hated like never before.
What? 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 That shit's evil. That shit's evil. Oh no, Guido, you misheard it completely. Ice Poseidon has a girlfriend, booked a room for the girlfriend's friend, then slept with that other girl. Then kicked out his girlfriend. Like, oh yeah, hey babe, hey Stephanie. Yeah, I slept with Susan in the other room. And I'm gonna break up with you, so get the fuck out. Like, what? What? Hello? Jesus Christ.
And of course, throughout this entire
on live stream, Jesus!
event, Mizkif was the cameraman. I mean, you already know at this point. His very powerful community would revolt against him and would vow to boycott his streams unless he stopped being such a stupid person. And while his hate was at an all-time high, the livestream fail mods saw an opportunity. Ice Poseidon was very controversial. His community was uncontrollable, and overall, he was a liability. So they initiated a community vote to ban Ice Poseidon from livestream fail. You wouldn't be able to post anything about him, talk about him, nothing. And seeing that a huge chunk of livestream fail users were also part of Ice Poseidon's community, this was perfect because they could give him a big middle finger. Everyone knew how much the subreddit helped him to grow. So they voted yes. And Ice was banned from livestream fail for many years to come. In the meantime, though, Mizkif completely avoided.
See, for me as a person, I don't really give a shit when streamers have cheating and relationship issues and drama and shit. I don't really care enough because I'm like, y'all got your own lives going on. I don't really care. So I know a lot of people hate people when they cheat and stuff. I just don't give a fuck, right? I only will care if you turn that shit into content. Then you're fucking weird, right? Like, yeah, you kind of a dog for that, but like, I don't know you. That's your own business. But you put it on live stream? What? Like, turn the camera off. That shit's fucked up. Got a hoe crying in her bed being broken up with. Her friendship ruined, her relationship ruined. Like,
all this negative attention. During the RV trip, he had met streamers like Erop221, and they had followed each other. In fact, he had networked with quite a few people. And so after the RV trip 2 had ended around June 2018, he had started to see momentum on his Twitch channel that he had never seen before. Going from
wait, so if someone follows you back on Twitter, that means y'all are connected? Mujin, does that mean we connected? Mujin, bestie? Does that mean we connected? Because we follow each other on Twitter? I didn't know that.
From 6 viewers to a few hundred. But that of course wasn't enough to live out his dream. No, he would take it yet another step forward, moving into a house with a bunch of other streamers like Erop221 and creating content together. Look, by this point, if it wasn't obvious yet, Mizkif was you. He was a normal person. He was someone who just watched streamers, and now all of a sudden he was sitting in a room with all of them laughing. Many people who were dissatisfied with Ice Poseidon's behavior started to watch Mizkif instead and would support him monetarily to see him.
Oh my god, is that Zenless Zone Zero song? Sorry, I'll start going do 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 do. I'm pretty sure it's a gotcha song for when you're gambling.
Live out their dream. They were essentially living through him. And they would make sure that no matter where you were on Twitch, you would hear of him and his new community. For example, someone would make him an emote, and he would call it Mizkif Egg. Now, in order to network, he made it a point to always raid someone after streaming. And I mean, you guessed it, they usually were bigger streamers. After he would raid a streamer, the only thing you would see in that streamer's chat was this obnoxious ass emote. His community would spam it so much that most streamers would actually end up banning it. It was impossible at this point to not know who he was, or at least have heard of him. Barely a few months later, you'd find him on the Scuffed podcast that was made by Trainwrecks TV.
So Trainwrecks. Oh. That's certainly a Discord call. I like S-Band. I like S-Band a lot. I like S-Band. I think Pokelols I have no real opinion about. I haven't watched enough of him to care. I think S-Band's kind of a sweetheart. Austin? Was this back when Austin was doing the whole Indian shit? Was this back then? When he was being Raj Patel? Was that during this time period or not? Anyone know? So, you know, that's something. Oh. Okay. Yep. All right. I mean, I don't give that much of a shit, but like, you know, preferences. How do you feel about Asmongold? I feel like when he tweaks, it's really bad. So it's hard. It's hard because I feel like there's some times where he's like a normal person, but when he has his crash out moments, he gets so fucking uncomfortable and weird that I'm just like, oh fuck no. But I don't know. It's kind of it's strange because I liked him at one point, but then sometimes he'll say some shit that I'm like, oh fuck, man. I think you're kind of like rotting on the inside, bro. I don't know what's happening. But then like sometimes he'll be like normal again and say something I actually agree with. And then he'll go back to being kind of fucking weird and crazy. So it's like, I don't know. I feel very flip-floppy on him. Does that make sense? Yeah, like there's like some parts that I used to like for him. And then I don't know. Sometimes he just gets... I find that I just don't even watch his clips anymore because I'm just so tired of hearing so much toxic shit, bro. It's always everybody hating on each other and it's exhausting, right? And half the time it's just him and fucking Hassan going back and forth. And I don't give a shit about Hassan. So I'm like, I don't want to fucking hear all these people going back and forth complaining about each other. Like, I'm good, bro. Like, get me out. That's the new meta for them? Well, it farms, dude. You get so many views now for just going after each other if you got beef on the internet, right? But I don't know. I don't got it in me to watch shit like that. So.
And in it, he was so comfortably sharing his sense of humor, having conversations with some of the biggest streamers on the platform. Trainwrecks would make it a point to bring in smaller content creators.
But I also want to say flat out, if you're somebody who does watch any of these creators, I don't care. Go for it. Go for it. Okay? Because as long as you watch me, I don't care what you watch. Okay? I don't care. As long as you watch my YouTube video, I'm happy.
From time to time, but none of them would shine through like Mizkif truly did. It's as if he had prepared his entire life to become a streamer, and now that he finally got the opportunity, he was excelling at it. And it showed. Most of his streams at the time would be spent playing marbles, in which users in his chat could race each other to get first place, or he'd straight up just spend his time doing the most random, ridiculous things you can imagine, like doing front flips on his stream, shaving his head and his eyebrows, staring at a wall for 10 hours. I mean, truly, it was the Wild West, and people loved it at the time. As this was happening, and around the end of 2018, people would start to realize something. The livestream fail subreddit, once known to share fails of streamers and then eventually talking a lot about Ice Poseidon, would now become a forum that fueled Twitch drama. Didn't just talk about it, but actually played a critical role in it. I mean, this right here is the front page of livestream fail from the Internet Archive back in 2018, and you can see that whenever there was a big Twitch ban, whenever there was drama, whenever there was a highlight, it was always on this subreddit. More than once, you'd see Twitch drama that was fairly niche.
Holy shit. A lot of these streamers, I didn't even know, do they still stream anymore?
Make it on the front page of Reddit, which would attract tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people. It wasn't just all about highlights anymore. This was also about gossip, about drama. However, one familiar face you'd start to see often on the front page was Mizkif. He had a talent of making many clippable moments. He could turn a serious moment into a humorous moment. He could make a boring moment into something ridiculous, and everyone would start to clip it and share it, knowing that they'll get free Reddit karma. In fact, his clips would become so damn common that livestream fail would make him a filter. This was a very big deal at the time because
oh shit! Okay.
Dr. Disrespect, Soda Poppin'.
I knew that like XQC on livestream fails was like one of the most common things I'd see showing up in any of my feeds.
TV, there was a filter for drama, and there was a filter for XQC. This guy was now one of the greats. And mind you, this happened in under a year of him getting off RV Trip 2. It was insane. He was finally starting to see the fruits of his labor. He had gone from a few hundred viewers to now having over 1,000, and within the beginning of 2019, he'd have over 3,000.
Oh, in 2019 he had 3,000, and then COVID's gonna hit and he's gonna surge. That makes sense.
live
Okay.
viewers. This already took him from being a
Okay.
hobbyist to someone who can do this full-time and make a lot of money doing it. But of course, to Mizkif, it wasn't enough. There was so much more he wanted to do, and he was only getting started. But the question was, how do you go from having 3,000 average viewers to later reaching over 7,000? How do you go from the top
Whoa!
one?
He hit 7,000 in 2019. That's before pandemic. Oh shit, he was still just growing.
1% of Twitch to the top 1% of the top 1%? Well, the answer is one simple word: parasocialism. On April 21st,
Oh,
2019, a user would post a clip on Livestream Fail titled "Scuffed Pokimane Brings Actual Content to Twitch." It would be upvoted over 5,000 times and would end up on the front page of the subreddit. Here's the clip. Watch.
This is Bean. His name is Bean. I didn't name him. He is a juvenile red-tailed hawk. He's probably 6 months.
This is Maya though, I'm confused.
He was hit by a car a few, oh, they're really excited.
I'm confused. Why are they showing Maya calling
he
it
was hit by a
Pokimane?
car a few months ago. So I just got my falconry license and I'm rehabilitating him for a couple months. So I just fly him every day, and I weigh him every day.
So yeah, the whole point of this clip was the fact that she kind of looked similar to Pokimane, but was actually bringing real content to the platform.
Oh my god! That's the only reason? It's literally just Maya, but they're like, oh, she's just Pokimane but with content. Holy shit, how? Maya does not look the same as Pokimane. What are we talking about? What? What?
Showcasing her hawk while being very confident about it. As always, Mizkif would waste no time. He saw how popular she was on the subreddit, he saw how many viewers she gained after that clip was posted, and so when he found out that she was trying to build a PC, he reached out and gave her some advice. Of course, it wasn't mostly helpful, it was mostly comedic jokes, and it was really just for content. At some point, Maya would give him this look of desperation, and it would actually become a very popular emote. But what happened soon after, though, is that they would actually keep making content together. And Mizkif would notice fairly quickly that every clip posted of these two on Livestream Fail would get upvoted to oblivion. I mean, guys, as someone who unfortunately browsed this dumbass subreddit every day in 2019, I can tell you right now that not a single day went by without seeing a clip of Mizkif and Maya on the front page. It was getting
They ended up
ridiculous.
dating,
People were shipping them hard, so it's no wonder that in just a few months, Maya would move in with him, and this would be their reveal. Watch.
I'm going to meet her family.
That's not it. That's not what he was gonna say. That is true.
Chat, we're roommates.
We're dating. He's my boyfriend.
Look at how excited the chat is, dude. Look at these people. Look at how excited everyone is. You're probably wondering, why are people so excited over two streamers dating? Well, it goes back to the whole parasocial aspect. Mizkif was a normal guy. His viewers saw themselves in him, thinking if he can do it, I can do it too.
I'm sorry. What? What? Bro, okay, my advice to any of the single ass motherfuckers out there: do not think if he can do it, I can do it. Just go hit the gym and get a haircut. Start washing up more. Focus on yourself. Do not compare yourselves to these messy ass streamers. It is so they are not the same as you, bro. This guy has 7,000 average viewers. He's making so much money that he could technically date a model if he wanted to. That's the reality. You ain't him. Like, don't even. Well, he had 7,000. True, had. You right. Past tense, chat. You right. Don't parasocialize yourself into that. Y'all ain't the same. Just go wash your ass, hit the gym. And I'm not telling you to get abs, okay? I'm not telling you to go work over yourself, be unrealistic and shit like that. Just put effort in, okay? I don't think people realize a lot of women aren't looking for you to be shredded. A lot of us just want you to put effort into yourself. Because if we see you put effort into yourself, that means you'll put effort into being with us. And that's all we really want. Same thing as a chick, right? Is if you see, oh, your girl like hits the gym or she does yoga or she takes care of herself, you're like, oh, she takes care of herself, which means that she'll probably like kind of take care of me too. Like we'll be, right? That's it. Just get that part of your life together and you're already above half the population easy, right? It's so crazy how easy it is to get your glow up by at least 3 points by just basic self-care. And as a bitch who goes through really bad depression and is medicated for it, I'm telling you, I was still pulling in my saddest hours. In my saddest, darkest days, I was still pulling because all I did was make sure I worked out and showered. That was it. The bare minimum. My Riz out the fucking window. I was too depressed to have Riz, but I still made that shit work. That's all you need to do. You're welcome. Mind you, though, it's a lot easier for women to hook up because just a lot of men just be looking. But nonetheless.
They lived this dream through him and also wanted to live the dream of finding a girlfriend like Maya through him too. And now, yes, this is very wholesome, this is very nice, but you've watched rom-coms before. You know that all the excitement's gone once the couple kisses, right? Was this going to be the case here too? No, it wasn't. If anything, the parasocialism got even crazier. When Mizkif would cheer Maya up on stream, it would get posted as a clip on Livestream Fail. There will be wholesome moments in which Mizkif tells Maya that she doesn't deserve him, she deserves better, and that he's very grateful to be with her. Aww, on Livestream Fail. Oh look, another clip of these two with over 8,000 upvotes. Oh hey, that's another clip right here, 6,700 upvotes. Would you look at that, the same amount of upvotes, again, another clip featuring them both. Guys, this got so ridiculous that at some point someone posted a clip with the title, Maya eats some of her cereal and then breathes. And within the span of 6 hours, it would get more than 4,000 upvotes. This was meant to make fun of the state of this subreddit. It was
Bro. Hey, yo. Fuck, I need to be more parasocial, bro. I need to start farming, y'all. This is crazy. Holy shit. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, bro. I need to fucking oh my god.
literally just
She breathes like us. God, I love Maya, by the way. I think she's great. I loved watching a lot of her charity work in her charity streams and collabs. I don't know anything external from her charity streams and collabs, though. So if she's done some fuck shit that I don't know about, I'm sorry. But she seems great when she handles animals, and I care about that.
to post clips about Mizkif and Maya at this point. You see, this subreddit, even though it had evolved into being a space to discuss Twitch drama, still had a big void that wasn't filled after the banning of Ice Poseidon. This new parasocial aspect between Mizkif and Maya would definitely fill the majority of that gap. And thanks to this subreddit and many of these clips going viral, sometimes being on the front page of Reddit, many people start to find Mizkif. There's this thread on the Mizkif subreddit asking out of curiosity, when and how did he discover Miz? One of the top comments says, oh yeah, he made an impression of Tyler 1 and it was a clip on Livestream Fail. Another one would say, oh yeah, it was a clip in which Maya was explaining to Mizkif that a skunk was not a pet. There are so many comments in this thread, I mean there's 451, and so many of them will point to the whole Maya and Mizkif arc. No wonder the guy went from 3,000 average viewers to 8,000 right before becoming official with Maya. And look, some of you may not be fully aware of what 8,000 means, but just to give you some perspective, sponsors will pay you $1 to $2 per viewer per hour when you play a game, for example. So imagine what 1 hour of a sponsorship would be like. Imagine 2, imagine 3. This guy would be making some yearly salaries in just the span of a few hours with this view count. From many people's point of view, he had already made it, essentially. But to Mizkif, there was always more room to grow. The numbers could always go.
And just so you know, they pay you even more if you turn it into a video. It's crazy, dog. Oh, sponsor money's so crazy. I stopped taking sponsor money more recently. because I'm lazy. I started taking less sponsorships because I'm like, man, I just want to record the videos I want to record. I don't feel like doing other shit. And there was one sponsor I had 2 months ago that I was supposed to do. And then I hit up my sponsorship manager and I was like, hey, I don't think I'm going to finish signing the contract. And she's like, we finished negotiations. What? Why? Is there something wrong? And I was like, I just don't really want to do it. And if I don't want to do it, I don't want to promote it because I don't feel like doing it, you know? So, yeah. And I like the sponsor that I took. I just didn't want to do it because I was like, I just want to go record other videos. I want to go do some more reaction and shit. I don't know.
Further, and seeing that the whole Maya and Mizkif arc had come to a conclusion, he had to move on to the next bigger and greater thing, and for that he would take direct inspiration from his mentor, Ice Poseidon. Gordon Ramsay is one of, if not the most successful celebrity chef on the planet. But you see, just like Mizkif, he had very humble beginnings. When he was 19, he was a nobody, someone that had done technical college and done a bit of catering here and there. However, he had that hunger, that drive, and he wanted to be the best, so he went to the best. And at the time, that was none other than Marco Pierre White. Marco was, and still is, the youngest chef to ever attain 3 Michelin stars on a restaurant in the UK. That is the highest honor a chef could ever hope to achieve, and he did this while having the reputation of one of the first chefs that had a potty mouth. This guy would absolutely torture, destroy his staff. I mean, people would come in and try to work for him. After a day, they would leave. He would kick out celebrities from his restaurant if they gave him attitude. And he was seen as a rock star. Gordon would absorb everything he could during the span of the 2 years that he worked for him and would then go on to establish his very successful businesses. I mean, truly, even if you were to ask him today, he would credit much of what he learned to Marco. If you want to be the best, you simply learn from the best. And that's exactly what Mizkif did with Ice Poseidon. During our V-trip to...
I mean, to be honest, Marco doing that feels kind of fucked up. But Gordon doing that is mostly content, man. A lot of the people going on to any of Gordon's shows, they know what they're getting. You know that you're getting content farmed and he's going to be yelling at you. Right? So it's a little different when you just do it just to be a dick versus doing it for content, in my opinion.
We're just having a good time, being high, doing whatever, but Mizkif was there providing entertainment, but also sucking everything like a sponge, understanding what made Ice special and seeing how he operated. Many of the things he learned with Ice would stick with him. And after he had received unprecedented, crazy, insane momentum due to his relationship with Maya blowing up, the next step for him was incorporating everything Ice had done thanks to his influence. Now, some of it would be very direct, right? Like poaching the brains behind Ice Poseidon's operation and hiring him instead. Jacob was the man who set up all the tech of Ice Poseidon's streams, kept track of his dashboards, his stats, and even his financials. Mizkif would later hire him to work on operations for OTK. We'll see what that is later. And at some point, he would hire one of the most longtime cameramen of Ice Poseidon, Victor. Now, this was very straightforward. It was very obvious what he was trying to do, but he would also take it a step further. You see, Mizkif understood that a big part of why Ice Poseidon had become so big was because he knew exactly how to use the people around him for content.
That feels kind of shitty, right? Like, I don't fuck with Ice Poseidon at all. But you poached 2 of the other workers? Doesn't that feel weird? That's like, Ice Poseidon's what made you famous, and you took 2 of his main core staff? Like, I'll tell you a little bit about the behind the scenes work that like happens for like my channels and shit, right? Is, for those of you guys who don't know, I edited my first 1,000 videos solo, right? Eventually I brought on people to help edit for the channels and stuff, and I still do my thumbnails, whatever, but like I brought people on to help out here and there. And I have people who edit for me now. But one of the things is that I brought on one of my editors who works for like 2 of my friends, right? And when I wanted to bring him on, I was like, don't prioritize me. Prioritize whoever else you're working with. And when you have free time, work on some videos for me on the side. Right? Because like I cared about making sure I didn't screw over other people. Right? Same when it came to another editor I currently have for one of my shorts editors. Same thing. One of my shorts editors works for 2 other people that I know. And I was like, hey, I already have 2 other shorts editors who work for me constantly. I'll give you a batch. You just do these whenever you get the chance, right? Don't feel like you need to prioritize me and then backlog other people just because I have bigger numbers, right? That'd be stupid. That wouldn't be fair to other people, right? So that's something that I always took care of. Unless they themselves as editors are like, I no longer want to work for those people. I just want to work for you, Alicia. Then I'm like, oh yeah, you're your own person. If I'm paying you more and it makes more sense and that's what you want to do, sure. Like, obviously your well-being and your own life matters, right? So I'm not going to be like a dick about it. But at the same time, it's like, I don't want to like siphon people off, right? And one of the things I did when like hiring more editors and stuff was that I actually paid for some other content creators' videos that I wasn't even that close to. I paid for some of their videos to get edited by this editor and by like these 2 editors in particular. Because I was like, hey, if you're going to work for me, I want to make sure that you have their videos done ahead of time. I'm going to pay you to do 2 to 3 of their videos so that it's done and backlogged before you start working for me. Because I just don't want it to conflict with their upload schedule. And then went through, communicated all that to the creators, and then we just did it, right? Because I care that much about not fucking over someone else's content grind while also adding people to my team, right? Which eventually causes, like, you know, some people don't take content as seriously as I do. So I'm a very consistent form of income because I'm always recording every day, right? So people tend to gravitate towards working for me because I pay a lot. And on top of that, I'm always recording. So it's like they always have guaranteed work. But at the same time, it's like, I'm not like yoinking people. That just feels dirty, man. It just feels fucking dirty. Unless they solo apply and they approach you. But if you're approaching them, I don't know. That feels weird, dog. That feels weird.
To do all this alone. He would literally go out randomly on the street with no plans, meet up a random stranger, and make an entire 4-hour stream with them worth watching.
He's got poacher lips. Like the fuck does that mean?
Would hold grudges, would have a blacklist, would have people they don't want to interact with if they wronged them. Mizkif was willing to throw all of that to the side if it meant getting more viewers. There was no limit. There was no cutoff point. There was nothing you could do to him that would stop him from collaborating with you if it meant more viewers. Here are some examples. Around April 2019, Mizkif would go to PAX East with another streamer by the name of Svand. They would meet up a cosplayer, and that cosplayer would very openly start to talk dirty to Mizkif. She'd start whispering things in his ear, making him blush, and telling him things like, call me daddy. After she would leave and the conversation would end, he would look at the camera and jokingly say, she sucked me off. To which Svand would say, really? Jokingly. A month later, both Mizkif and Svand would get banned for a week. Why? Well, because Jenna, the cosplayer, didn't really like the clip. She didn't like the fact that she was drunk, and she didn't like the fact that Mizkif made that joke, so she sent her lawyers after Twitch to copyright strike their VODs, which made them get banned for an entire week. This had
No, I'm gonna be real. I think she's in the wrong there. Because if you're saying sexual shit like call me daddy or whatever, and then he makes a joke like, oh, she got me off, haha, like, I feel like you're both making the same joke. Right? Am I crazy to think that? I don't know. Am I being weird? But I think that's like the same joke being made back and forth. I don't think that he should have been banned for a week for that. But not to like defend him, I just think that, like, I mean, actually for this moment, I am defending him. I think that this is kind of stupid. Like, I think that if you're matching someone's freak, that's just kind of should be what it is.
happened a month after Jenna had messaged Svand telling him, yo, I didn't really appreciate the joke, and they settled it privately. The outrage was incredible, right? The entire community was rallying against her. In fact, it got so bad that she was even copyright striking Reddit posts made about her. Another post would get
Oh no. Girl, you're so in the wrong. There's nothing the internet hates more than copyright striking people for even talking about a situation. Oh no. Jokingly claimed that someone gave you oral sex is maybe kind of rebellious. It just feels weird. Okay, I think that joking about that and if you're uncomfortable is totally valid to be uncomfortable. But if you initiated saying the same joke, that's where it's kind of weird, right? Because if I was like, for example, to Palm, if I was like talking to Palm and I was like, yo, bitch, you got some fat titties, ha ha ha. And she's like, yeah, girl, I think that your pussy tight. And it's like, one might be more aggressive than the other, but it's like, it's kind of the freak was matched and slightly escalated. Right? It's like, it's kind of just like, I don't know. That's where it kind of feels weird to me. And then if you start copyright striking people, yeah. I think it's different because she was drunk, in my opinion. Yeah, I think it's fair to have different opinions for me. If you don't agree with me, that's fine. Like, I think this is one of those things that is subjective, right? Yeah, she was probably spiraling. Yeah, mind you, it's super overwhelming to be put on blast, right? That is super overwhelming. So if she started just striking everybody because she started panicking, I get that. I think there's some empathy we can have there. But at the same time, it's like, damn, striking people's fucked. Because you're trying to screw over people's careers and shit sometimes, man. That's kind of scary.
Mate calling her out, DMCAing other posts, and it would reach the front page of Reddit with 22,000 up.
Ah, her trying to strike things made it hit front page of Reddit. Ah!
Votes. It was looking really bad for her, and it was also very bad for Mizkif because to him, it's as if his career had ended suddenly for a week. He was having a very hard time mentally to deal with this, and would even cry in the shower about it. He would reveal that later. Now, usually, right, assuming you were in Mizkif's shoes, you would blacklist Jenna. You would never want anything to do with her ever again, right? Well, 3 years later, he would actually invite her to his stream. They would collab together, and he'd end up uploading YouTube highlights of the stream itself. To this day, his most viewed video of all time on his channel features her. His third most viewed video is also with her involving shock collars, and she would make an appearance another 2 different times with very highly viewed highlight videos. This didn't just help her redeem herself in the eyes of the community, it obviously led to way more viewers on both his YouTube and his Twitch.
Huh. Okay. Now, do you know what? I think that this is actually kind of a dope thing. Where it's like, okay, we had issues. She got dragged through the mud because she did something fucking a little bit weird, right? He did something weird there too. But they both kind of like came back up together about it. I think that's fine. I think that's good. I think, yeah. I think that this whole situation ended up fine. Right? Feels like a stunt. I don't really think it was. Getting strikes and shit, I don't know. I wouldn't really call it a stunt. But maybe. I don't know. You never really know, but I don't think it was.
This was someone who was clearly unstable, who was very irresponsible with her lawyer.
Okay, I see Alinity in the bottom right. I really don't fuck with Alinity. After she like spat alcohol into one of her pets' mouths, I was like, yeah, I don't understand why she still has a platform. So, yeah, that fuck off. Like, that's different. Like, yeah. That's just, you fucking suck. And then one of her dogs smelled her coochie on stream when she was doing yoga poses and she didn't stop the dog, which was also weird. And then she threw her cat one time. And then she started striking people for posting about it. Still has a platform. I don't know. That's just fucking weird to me. But, you know, there it is.
Who got him a week-long ban and made him scared to lose his entire career, and yet there she was.
But she's pretty, Chad. But she's pretty. Stop it. Don't attack my queen. Stop it. Like the fuck?
Redeeming herself in the eyes of the community while giving him many views. This was who Mizkif truly was.
She did strike PewDiePie, that is true.
But it wouldn't end here. He would really go after anything that got him views. At some point, a fairly known streamer by the name of Slicker would be outed as a scammer. He would scam other streamers over $200,000, asking for loans, asking for help, and it would end up actually being used for gambling. One of the people who was affected was a longtime friend of his who was dealing with cancer. He had scammed her for over $50,000.
Dude, the Slicker situation, that was so bad. his gambling addiction and the way he fucking used people, including a cancer patient, taking money from a fucking cancer patient. Oh, Jesus Christ.
It was a scandal of epic proportions, and no one wanted to talk to Slicker at all. He was pretty much deemed blacklisted. It was over. Except, of course, for Mizkif, who would invite him on his stream to hear his side of the story. He would bring him on, he would bring XQC on, he would bring Hassan on, and he would even bring the cancer patient who he scammed out of $50,000 on too, where they confronted each other and Mizkif just sat there raking in the views. And hell, if that wasn't enough, Alinity.
Here she is, yeah. Dude, I don't know, man. Like, the amount I despise people who, like, it's I'm sorry, like it's so frustrating to me that it's hard to formulate my sentences. So as you guys know, I've battled cancer. I've won my battle versus cancer. It was a very fucking long journey for me and an incredibly expensive one, right? I've never done a GoFundMe. I've never done extra shit for it. I've always just made more videos, right? That was my whole goal, was I will fund everything myself. I will make videos. I'll make it work, right? And if I run out, I'll make even more videos. And I start uploading 5 videos a day, right? That's what happened. And I did what I did, right? And a lot of it's thanks to me doing reactions, which I'm so thankful for people like Mujin and people who make videos like this where I can react, right? Which I am so thankful and so appreciative for, which is why I always plug their YouTube video in my description, or I wait at least 1 to 2 days to react to one of their videos to make sure that I don't impede on their viewership, right? And with that in mind, right, is that if I had somebody taking money from me because while I'm going through that hardship, like, I'm fucking fighting them. Like, I mean, I've had the situation where one of my friends in the friend group had a hospital bill come up and it was $5,000 and they just couldn't afford it, right? And I covered it. And like, if I found out that was fake, I'd have to fuck them up. Like, it was real though. Don't worry. My friend is a good person, right? I'm not gonna mention which one it is, right? Because that's between me and them. But it's like, yeah, man, like, I'd have to fuck them up, right? I paid for one of my friend's dental issues. They had dental issues. I had to cover that for them. They're paying me back over time. Shit like that. Like, I don't know, man. If someone's trying to fuck me over with my bag while I'm trying to get married and battling cancer, like, I'm a beat their ass. Yeah, legally or physically, you squaring up. No, I'd be physically. I'd beat their shit. Like, if you fuck me up in my bag while trying to pay for my own shit and grinding the way that I do, like, we're squaring up. That's it. Oh, God. I might be short, but I'm kneeing you in the balls. Like, it's happening. Oh, man. I mean, I did have a situation. I won't go into detail about it. I did have one situation where someone in the friend group did fuck me financially a few months ago, where they money requested from me $800 because they did some work on the side for me. And I was like, okay. But then 3 days later, they money requested $1,200. And I was like, there's no world where this person has done this much work in 5 days. And then I realized it's because I told them, they asked if they could borrow $1,000 from me the week before. I said, no, I don't have it. I don't have it. Like, I can't do that for you right now. Sorry. And then they ended up doing that and stealing from me. And they cried to me. They apologized. And like, I don't hate them, but I just can't talk to them like I used to. You know? So it's like, it's a hard situation. Right? And it's like, doing that to me, it's I'm sorry. Like it's so frustrating because it's like I've never mentioned this before. This is my first time mentioning this to you guys before. Like, it's something I've been dealing with behind closed doors because of it, which is why I'm not even mentioning the person's name. And I don't know, because like I feel like it took Dawn and Fax sitting me down. I guess is the best way to put it. Dawn and Fax had to sit me down and be like, he's not your friend. Friends don't steal $1,000 from you. And I'm like, yes, I know. But like, we've been such good friends for such a long time. And Fax and Dawn were like, Alicia, if you don't cut him off, like, we're going to have issues. Because you cannot be getting taken advantage of it like this. Like, you just can't be. Right? And that's kind of what made me take a step back from the friendship. Because I myself, like, I have a backbone towards a lot of things. But when it comes to, like, someone hurting me, I have a harder time. Right? So Dawn and Fax are like basically my brothers. They're like my two older brothers who are kind of shitty and kind of a twerp towards me, as you see them bully me all the time with joking behavior, right? But like, they'll go to war for me. And they genuinely hate this friend now because of what he's done to me, right? And this friend has written me long apologies, cried to me on the phone about it. But I'm like, and my empathy is high because like I really cared about them. I really loved them as a friend. But it's like, when you steal $1,000 from someone after you already told them no to borrowing it, that's a different level, you know? That's something where like I can't fuck with you anymore. Yeah. Anyways, I won't name drop the person. Just know that it's not like anyone if you've seen me collab with them within the past month or two, it's not them. This happened a few months ago. So that's legit a bridge bird for now. Yeah, it's hard. And one of the videos that we made in our Game of Thrones reactions, we were all joking around and we're like, oh yeah, who would you choose? If you had to choose one person to die in the friend group, right? Like, because there was like a Game of Thrones reference, there's like picking someone to die, right? Who would you choose? And then Dawn said the person's name, and we're like, oh, fuck, we have to censor it. So we censored it even on Patreon because we're like, oh, shit, Dawn, you can't say that. So, like, Dawn and Fax are like Dawn always says inappropriate shit, love him to death. But Dawn and Fax have been such an amazing pillar in my life and have like been so refreshing to me getting treated better. And they put like a lot of people in place when it comes to me because of that. Like, I can have attitude towards a lot of things, but for me, it's like, you know, yep. Dawn, lol. Like, borrowing $1,000 and not paying it back is literally better. Exactly. Because if they borrowed it and had the intention to pay it back or something, that's one thing. But I said no, and then they stole $1,000. And then what I did, my fiance Rich was really upset about me doing this, but I'll mention it now, is I let him keep the $1,000 instead of paying me back it. I said, don't pay me back. I just don't want to like do any of the shit together anymore. I can't. Like, this is me like cutting it off. And Rich is like, did you really just give him severance for stealing from you? If anything, he should pay you back and more. You know that, right? And I'm like, yeah, but I'm not that person. Like, so I don't know, man. Like, I'm really bad. Like, it's hard. And like, I said no to giving the $1,000 because I needed the $1,000, right? So they knew I said no and then did that to me anyways. And I'm like, fuck. How did they even steal it? They invoiced it. I pay off all my invoices. So if you invoice me for work, it gets paid through Azu because Azu handles my invoicing. So he said he did more work when he didn't and invoiced it. So And yeah, because he manipulated the intel. So poor Azu got duped for it too. Yeah. Oh, the fuck, it's so scummy? Yeah. So, and sometimes you guys ask about the friend, and I'm like, ah. So I still speak of them highly because I don't want to give away who it is, because I don't want my community to go after somebody when I've already moved on from it, right? Because that's between me and them. Does that make sense? Which is why I'm still not saying their name. Brother, just do the work. Yeah, which is fucking insane. Oh, what did they even need it for? I hope this doesn't give away who it was, but they were going on a trip to Vegas. And I hope that doesn't give away who it was. I don't know if that will or not, but they could have paid you back if they won. Yeah, sorry, this is so sidetracked from this video because, like, mentioning the slicker thing just hit me so hard because I'm just like, being screwed over by a friend, and especially as a cancer patient, makes me want to fight fuckers. And like, I've experienced something very similar. I just didn't make it public because again, this is my first time talking about it. Like, I just didn't make it public because, you know, I just like dealing with shit on my own for shit like that. And this happened months ago. Is that this person is cut off? Yeah. Yes, to a degree. I haven't told a lot of people in the friend group, so they still hang out with the person. And Richard told me I should tell the people in the friend group because it's kind of their right to know that this is happening, and so that it doesn't happen to them. But I kind of was like, I don't know. Because like, my friends still kind of hang out with him, except for the ones who know what happened. The ones who knew what happened don't talk to him. The ones who don't know still hang out with him in the friend group. Yeah. Because what Richard told me was like, you can tell them, and if they choose to still hang out with him, that's fine. But they have a right to know as someone who's interacting with him and who he could ask them. And I was like, okay. And he's like, okay. He goes, it's not your decision to make to decide if they're friends or not, but it is your decision to tell them, and you should make that decision. I'm like, oh, you got a good point. That's a good point. I mean, to put it in perspective, okay, fuck it. I'm gonna just say this part. This is the same friend I spent the $5,000 medical bill on, who did not pay me back for that. I gave it to them to pay off their medical bill, and they stole $1,000 from me. If you could understand why Don says if he fucking died, I wouldn't care, you'll understand more now. Like, yeah. So this has been bogging me down a little bit for the past few months with, like, in the friend group a bit, but I have a lot of wonderful people in my life, which I'm very thankful for, you know? And like, that's a lot of fucking money, man. And I don't like money fucking up friendships, but it just feels like too personal. It's the great they talk about in the Bible. Yeah. It is what it is. At the end of the day, like, I'm very thankful for the people I have in my life right now. And I'm honestly super thankful for, like, Party Wolf and for Key and for Ant in particular, because those three have just been like, they've been a breath of fresh air in my life that has just been so soothing to my soul. And I'm just very thankful. Money didn't fuck up the friendship. They did. True. Anyways, I'm so sorry there's such a long tangent in this video. Probably should have been a separate video if I was going to do this. But hey, I hope you enjoyed our little powwow here. I don't know. Is that appropriate to say anymore? Is it not appropriate to say anymore? I don't know what's okay not to say anymore. I hope you enjoyed our discussion. And let's get back to the video.
Who famously said, "Let's copy Stripe PewDiePie," and who also threw her cat on stream while at some point feeding it vodka was easily by
This bitch! Speaking of bitches! Why? Why is she still platformed?
2019, one of the most hated people on the entire internet. At some point in a teary-eyed apology, she'd say that she's sorry, that she didn't mean these things, that she's trying to be better, and that this isolation, the fact that she had lost all her friends and is hated by everyone, is leading her to have some very dark thoughts. Still though, no one wanted anything to do with her. She was radioactive. No one reached out to her, no one talked to her, no one wanted to help.
Do you know what? Fuck Mizkif. Platforming her and giving her her career back? Fuck you. She should have stayed off the internet. She abused her cat. Like, fuck off. I didn't mean to. Yes, you did.
To redeem herself, except one person, of course, Mizkif. He would at some point invite her on his podcast and hear her side of the story. He would help her redeem herself in the eyes of the community, and it would actually end up working. In fact, she'd become a recurring guest on his streams, always collabing with him, always being part of his events.
Literally resurrected her career. Like, what the fuck?
And it really showed that this guy took Ice Poseidon's philosophy to the next level. He didn't just know how to use others for content, he also didn't hold grudges. He prioritized views over emotions, over feelings, and it worked tremendously well, to the point where he'd even beat his own expectations as he embarked on his newest journey, which would be the formation of OTK. On June 25th, 2020, Tips Out would announce that he was leaving the esports organization known as Method. This was someone who was fairly influential in the content creation sphere, and many were wondering what his next steps would be. Well, they wouldn't have to wonder that long, because a few months later, OTK, otherwise known as One True King, would be announced. It would be yet another network for content creators, more specifically streamers, and as you can see here, one of the founding members was about to be Mizkif, alongside other big and renowned streamers, with Tips Out being part of the leadership. They would make their official announcement on the 11th of October 2020, with the founding members
I'm not really familiar with Method. But,
being
yeah.
Sfand, Tips Out, Asmongold, Rich Campbell, and Mizkif. This was of course a very big deal, okay? This new org featured some very big content creators, one of them being Mizkif, someone who had been growing exponentially for the last few years and seemed to only want more. And as Mizkif was embarking on this very new and exciting chapter in his life, he would put an end to a previous one.
Is it weird if I don't know shit about NMP, but he gives me the ick? Because every time I see him interact with women in a clip, maybe the clip's out of context, I don't know, but every time I've seen him interact with a woman in a clip, I get secondhand embarrassment and cringe. And I'm like, why the fuck is he allowed to talk to people? Like, it is so uncomfortable. But mind you, might be out of context. I just only watch clips. But either way, whenever I see it, ugh. It's not weird, it's valid. You're spot on. Okay.
Seemingly
Y'all would know
out
more
of
than me.
nowhere. On September 15th, 2021, he would make a tweet saying, "From me and Maya, read," linking a twit longer. He'd say, "We want you guys to know that Maya and I have decided to break up. We both want to be very clear that there was no event, no cheating, no drama that led to this decision. We mutually decided that this is what's best for both of us in our current lives. We both care about each other so much and are still friends. We're supporting each other through this, and we ask that you all do the same for us both. We're going to take a couple of weeks off of streaming to process and to take care of ourselves. Thank you for supporting us through these past 2 years. We can both say that they've been some of the best years of our lives, and we're super grateful. See you in a few weeks. Ms. and Maya." So for you to truly understand just how big this relationship was in the content creation world, some of the biggest streamers on the entire planet would be commenting words of support
God
here,
damn.
and this tweet would receive a
There's some popular ass
ridiculous amount of
streamers.
engagement. This was a few months after celebrating their second anniversary, and it really did seem like it came out of absolute nowhere. You'd see people commenting things like this. Normally, I don't give a fuck about people's relationships, but this one hit different. Tens of thousands of people were there to witness these two getting closer to each other and eventually, well, making it official, and now it was over. But things were moving fairly quickly because as Maya was moving out, Mizkif would announce that
I'm just saying. If Rich and I ever, just knocking on wood, if Rich and I ever had the parting of ways, I'm not even going to say the words into the air. Yeah, I'm fuck content creation, bro. I'm gonna curl up in a ball and die. Like, I gotta still try to be happy for a video after? Nah, dog, I'm good. Nah, this joy shit, that's out the window. Man.
Emiru, not even a month after the breakup, would be moving in. You see, Mizkif had a house at this point, he had multiple content creators living there, and Emiru was also about to be a part of this. She was well known at the time, she had her own audience, and the reasoning for this happening was that Emiru lived in Kansas and had a bunch of stalkers that threatened her life. Mizkif would so gracefully extend his hand out for her to come live with him in the same house as him and his streamer friends, and she said yes, making her feel the safest she's ever felt.
God, that's so
on
sad.
January 3rd, 2022, she would join OTK as a founding member as well. This would blow her viewership up to the stratosphere, okay? She'd be averaging 2,000 viewers, and by the time she would join OTK, she'd be averaging 16,000.
That's huge!
Soda Poppin' would join the organization too. One of Twitch's
Not to like be insulting towards Emiru. I have no intention of doing that. I'm just letting you know where I knew her from. I knew her for dating Dyrus, the League of Legends pro. And that's how I knew of her originally. I don't know if anyone else knew her from back then. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm not trying to be like insulting where it's like, oh, I just know her as the girlfriend or something. It just I just knew her from that. And then like saw her blow up later on. Yeah. Oh, that was her? Yeah. That was her.
OG streamers. OTK was now the place to be. Everyone dreamt of joining this org.
I like Cutie Cinderella. I like City On. Tubbo I don't really watch because I'm old. And Masayoshi I like because I like watching Quarter Jade.
Everyone who joined it would have their viewership triple, quadruple. I mean, this was insane. For Mizkif though, OTK would allow him to conduct bigger and better streams, in which he would yet again put Ice Poseidon's philosophy at work and use others for content. He would collaborate with so many different streamers in one of his series that he made with OTK, which was Schooled. In this show,
Isn't Sup Caitlyn the one who like her mod and her were streaming together and then she pretended he was the most gross man she's ever interacted with in her life? Isn't that her? We're like, her and her mod were hanging out together and he like came over to her place. And then they did a live stream together and it got clip farmed to like crazy because she was like, I have to do shots. Yeah, I'm gonna kiss him. Ew! Ew, you're so fucking gross! Ew! And then she did another shot. And then she smooched him and she goes, ew, you're so fucking disgusting. Ew! And then she like ran off stream as if like pecking him on the lips was like the worst thing in the world. Just fucking a monster of a person to do that to someone on camera, by the way. Like, what the fuck? Insane. Yeah, you mean the girl gagging and doing too much? Yeah, that one. Yeah. Yeah. That's all I really know her for, is that. Her next to Alinity, though? They're like, hold on. Let's make sure we have a problem corner in this stream. Look, problem corner is here. Most unproblematic corner down here. Found the Twitch clip? Oh, here. Shit. Send it in Discord. Put it in the recommend channel. I'll pull it up for stream. I'll keep letting this play. Once you guys pull up the clip, that'd be great.
Ask a bunch of streamers questions that should normally be answered by a high schooler to see whether they were smart enough or not. Schooled would only be one of those events, of course. They would have sports days, tournaments. I mean, this org was absolutely on fire. It single-handedly made many content creators want to move to Austin, Texas, where all these streamers lived, so that they can be a part of these events. The name OTK was all of a sudden synonymous with growth. with clout, with money, and Mizkif as a co-founder was of course at the absolute center. Everyone wanted a piece of him and his community. Everyone wanted a piece of OTK. There was no one who wouldn't collab with him, no one who wouldn't be open to doing something with him. One could say that by this point, Mizkif had truly made it. He was really at a point where he could call himself the top 1% of the top 1%. This was all.
If you're wondering about my opinion about Pokimane, I literally have zero opinion. I used to like her when I was like younger, but then I just didn't really watch her after that. I like some of her outfits. I think her outfits are cute. Besides that, I don't really have an opinion. I know she said some cringe shit, but I feel like a lot of people say cringe and out of tough shit when they have that much money. I don't really hold it against her. I don't think there's anything that's been super bad for me to be like, ew. Not that I can remember, at least. Yeah.
Of course, reflected in his viewership. After founding OTK in 2020, he would find immense success in the coming years. By 2021, he was averaging 40,000 viewers. This would stay consistent up until 2022, when the very method that he had used to attain this fame, this idea of using others for content, would fatally bite him in the ass. At the time, many people didn't know this, but this was truly the beginning of the end.
Oh, what?
TrainwrecksTV is a streamer that's been streaming for almost a decade now.
He had issues in 2022? I didn't even know
Rose
that.
to prominence on Twitch and eventually became a co-founder of Kick.com.
I don't know. I like her from the start. That's cool. I think, like, honestly, I don't think I've ever seen anything really bad about Pokey besides saying a few out of touch things, like about her cookies and about like not being rich when she's literally one of the most rich people in the entire streaming and YouTube category. But besides that, I think she seems fine. And I like her outfits a lot. And she seems okay. You know? So I don't really got anything going on. Yeah.
Look, he's always been a well-renowned streamer who would always collaborate with some of the top streamers in Austin, but his big break would truly be in 2021, when he would stream gambling and slot machines on Twitch. But slot machines have always been a category on Twitch for a very long time. What made Trainwreck so special though is that he was gambling obscene amounts of money. To a typical gambling streamer, $10 per spin on a slot machine was considered a lot of money, right? They were wagering a lot. Trainwreck was over here max betting $1,000 per spin and making it look like it was nothing. When the slot machine would hit, he'd be winning hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars live on stream. This made many other streamers want to gamble and take advantage of this new popularity, as well as rake in the money that these gambling websites were offering. Hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars for just a few streams per year. These streams were getting out of control, and there was big concern over who was watching them and how many.
I just want you to know, if I got offered a gambling sponsorship now, I would take it in a heartbeat. I got offered a gambling sponsorship back in 2022, and I didn't take it because I was doing Genshin content. So if I did, like, because I was already gambling in Genshin for the gacha system, right? But I wasn't doing it irresponsibly. I had like a limit each time I gambled, right? But my audience was young. My audience was like teens to early 20s. And I was like, bro, no shot. Now, you fuckers are old as shit. My age demographic is old as fuck. Okay? Now, I would definitely take a gambling sponsorship because y'all are old as shit. Man, I felt like I had a responsibility when my age demographic was young. But now that y'all are old, yeah, man, I totally do it now. That's all. Yeah. Or matching your freaking age. We're trying to like fine wine. That's calling you old, Alicia. I am. I know I am. Shut up. That's all it is. My bones are creaking. Yeah. Anyways, that's just the reality. So like, I don't really have anything super against gambling streams unless you have a young viewership. If you know your audience is fucking like kids, bro, like is goddamn teenagers, you dick, stop gambling on stream. You're such an ass. But if you're like have an older audience, then yeah, no, totally, I don't give a fuck. That's fine. Like that, yeah, whatever, man. Like a
influence to gamble, something that can very easily ruin your life. After a year of extreme success for Trainwrecks when it came to gambling streams, Twitch would come in on October 18th, 2022 and prohibit most forms of gambling, specifically the ones that Trainwreck was operating with. This is what would eventually prompt him to reach out to the founder of the casino he played on and create Kick.com with him. Now, do you remember Slicker, the Twitch streamer who scammed $200,000 out of multiple streamers for gambling? Well, this was in 2022, a month before Twitch had outlawed gambling on its website. As this was happening, many streamers were kind of pointing the finger at Trainwreck and other streamers that streamed gambling, indirectly blaming them for creating people like Slicker. On September 19th, 2022, Asmongold would tweet, "How in the fuck is Slicker not banned on Twitch? Guy literally uses the platform to defraud dozens of people, streamers and viewers alike, and admits it. JDon is still sitting a perma while Slicker gets to go live and laugh about actual crime. It's an absolute disgrace."
See, moments like this is where I'm like, oh, Asmongold said something incredibly based, right? Which is why I'm always so flip-floppy about him. Because when he says shit like this, I'm like 100% agree. But then sometimes he crashes out and says some weird shit. And I'm like, oh, this feels very concerning. This doesn't feel like something a fully developed brain should say. Not a fan, right? It's just very difficult because sometimes he says things that I'm like, yes. And sometimes he says things where I'm like, holy fuck, where did your brain go? It's just very hard.
At Twitch, Trainwreck would reply to this tweet saying, "Because your pals decided it was in their best interest to use and platform the very person that scammed everyone for his horse racing and tennis bets to somehow twist it and wager their war against me. And we both know deep down why the insecure little man is doing this." So to Trainwreck, this whole thing was just a way for people to wage war on him and his success that he found with gambling streams.
Oh my god, it's all about me mentality. Shut up, Trainwreck. Shut up.
When Mizkif would see that tweet from Trainwreck, he would attempt to do what he's always done: farm engagement out of a serious situation. He'd reply to Trainwreck saying, "If we're going to deplatform people for scamming others, shouldn't we have banned you for Joltcoin a few years back?"
Oh, good tweet.
This is
That's a good
reference to a
tweet.
coin that Trainwreck had peddled
That's
on his
a good
stream
tweet.
years ago. I think it was around 2017. That ended up going absolutely bust. If you invested in it, you most likely lost your money. Mizkif would of course later delete his reply, but not before Trainwreck would reply first. And this would be an absolute bombshell that no one was ever expecting. He'd say, "Are you going to send Maya and Mitch to railroad and blackmail me like you did those girls to cover up all those sexual assaults, you fucking scumbag piece of shit? You want to come at me and make shit up? Then you better be sure you don't live in a glass house, you insecure pussy." Now,
Well, that escalated. Jesus.
of course, this was ridiculous. This was insane. This was never heard of before. Where did this come from? Railroad? Blackmail? Girls? Sexual assaults? Plural? Whoa. This got serious real quick. People already forgot about Slicker. This was over. Right?
Yeah,
This had
bro,
ended
like
in a couple of
this-
days. Now it was about Mizkif and Trainwreck. What's going on?
So this timeline of what happens next, it was super muddy for me. I knew about Trainwreck saying that. I did not understand what happened after, right? So I didn't know, was Maya actually involved? What actually happened? I have no idea. So I'm really glad we're watching a Mujin video because I would love to know what the fuck is happening.
Barely a day after Trainwreck had made that bombshell accusation, a streamer by the name of Adriana Lee would go live, saying that back in January of 2020, right? Bear in mind, we're in September 2022 at this point, she had gone to a party in Mizkif's house, got blacked out drunk, and one of Mizkif's roommates, Crazy Slick, would attempt to do this weird CPR maneuver where it seemed like he was just making an excuse to touch her chest. You see, according to Adriana, she wanted to go live with a twitlonger in 2021, explaining her point of view. This is when Maya would be sent to her house to see the twitlonger and allegedly ask her to not include the word sexual assault in there because it didn't happen. Adriana would post that twitlonger in 2021 and would say that she's been suffering the consequences ever since, being blacklisted out of every party and event in Austin, and having very vicious rumors being spread about her so that even her friends were forced to separate from her. During her stream in 2022, she'd show us Mizkif's reaction to her twitlonger in 2021, and it was him completely downplaying it. Watch.
Of what you can deem of it, it's sexual harassment, whatever. At a low scale, it's not really a big deal. I don't think people really gave a shit and really cared. I'm gonna turn this off if you're gonna be like this. I'll just turn it off.
Jesus Christ. And people were still fine with him after that? That's pretty fucking bad.
This clip obviously added
Because he acknowledged that the inappropriate action happened here and tried to be dismissive of it. That's weird.
a lot of fuel to the fire. It seemed like he didn't care, it seemed like it was indeed kind of a cover-up, and it seemed like Trainwrecks wasn't exaggerating. On the same day, September 20th, 2022, Adriana would make a thread of people Slick has been weird to / harassed / assaulted because people had reached out to her to share their story as well. And in these DMs, we could see Slick being an absolute creep to many women like this one. This one really stood out compared to others because it was him essentially just talking to himself, with the woman in question saying, "You're so sad, oh my god, move on bro, take your horniness elsewhere," and him saying, "I'm not horny, I'm just in love with you."
Oh my god. Saying, "You're so sad, OMG, move on bro, take your horny ass somewhere else." And then he proceeds to like, what the fuck is happening?
"Please marry me," to which she would say, "How many times do I have to reject you to drill the idea into your fucking head?" And he would just keep on going. What made this worse is that he was doing this consistently to up and coming streamers, to people who were growing, who hadn't quite gotten to the famous level yet, knowing full well that they might be interested in him because he lives with Mizkif, the guy behind OTK. The streamer FanFan, for example, was one of the people that Slick was being very weird to. And I mean, look at this. The guy was like, "If we ever meet, you're done." She'd be like, "What, on site?" And he'd say, "You're getting bent over immediately." I mean, it was so awkward, so weird. She was clearly uncomfortable, but in her own words, she didn't want to offend a well-known streamer, right? She tried to keep it
She went through the same thing I went through. I had a streamer friend where he said to me when we were in call, "Alicia, I want you to know I have a lot of experience fucking black women. I know what they really need, and I know how to treat them right in bed. I just want you to know that I can take care of them very well." And I went, "Well, that's nice." And try to move on because we were collabing in 10 minutes from then. By the way, he knew at the time I'm taken. He was well aware. Like, and then another time we collabed because I was like, okay, maybe he talks like this to everybody. Maybe he's just trying to tell me fun facts, right? I was so deluded to think that this person was normal. And he was like, "Yeah, you know, I almost got canceled one time because of this three-way situation and blah, blah, blah. But like, I'm just a white boy who's very in tune with my body. And I just know how to please a woman." And I was like, okay. And then I laughed because I didn't know what to say. What the fuck do you say to this? Right? And like, once every like week when we would hang out in a call, he would bring up the fact that he knows how to like lay it down. And I would just be like, "Yeah, my fiance is very good." Because I didn't know what to say, bro. I didn't know what to say. And then when I told Dawn and Fax about it, they were like, "Alicia, get the fuck away from him. He's a sex pest. What are you, Alicia, common sense," right? And I'm like, I just think he's flirty and weird. I don't know if it's actually like bad. I think I might just be overthinking it. They're like, "Alicia, you're not overthinking of it. Get out." And then he did other shit. And I was like, "Oh, okay, never mind. He's actually a sex pest. My bad." And then I ended the friendship. But I was like, oh, probably should have ended it way before. My bad. Didn't realize. Dawn and Fax are great friends. The self-gaslighting is crazy. It's hard because, like, when I connect to people, the way I invest myself into a friendship is full. Like, I full tilt invest myself into friendships, right? So, like, I will always give the benefit of the doubt to my own detriment a lot. And I will think that I'm the problem more than thinking they're the problem until an external factor will tell me what is happening. Because I'm always scared if I jump the gun on something, and I'm always worried about, like, maybe I'm, like, you know, in my own head or paranoid or something, because I'm somebody who has anxiety, right? So I was like, maybe I'm the issue, maybe I said something, right? And then my friends have to be like, you're fucking stupid, get away. I'm like, ah. So yeah. So people say pest because it's less scary than predator. Yeah, there was a lot of sexual references he made about me at the time, but I kind of kept laughing and redirecting it. So it's like, I don't know, because it's one of those things where I wouldn't be like, hey, stop saying that, it makes me uncomfortable. I would be like, haha, that's nice. Anyways. So it's kind of weird because I felt guilty, like, okay, maybe I should tell him to shut the fuck up. But I would just be like, haha, nope. Anyway, let's talk about blah, blah, blah. Right? So it's like, I don't know. I always felt like, I don't know. I didn't know what to really, yeah. I'm more shocked that Rich wasn't bothered by it. I didn't really mention it to Rich because I was like, I thought it was in my own head. I thought that I was like, you know, I thought that maybe I was the problem because I was like, maybe I'm like reading too into it and he's just a guy saying some shit, you know? Because like you have like the boys who are like, yo, I fucked this person, blah, 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 sometimes, and they're a little bit graphic. But this was very like directed towards me, and I didn't know if I was misinterpreting it or not. Yeah. Why does it seem recent? Well, it happened last year-ish. Kind of early this year, but last year-ish more, yeah. No, because I didn't lead him on because I kept saying, well, I'm very taken and Rich treats me very well. I'm so happy to be getting married. That was my response very often to him saying stuff like that. So I wasn't really flirting or participating. I was just redirecting to how taken I am because I didn't know how else to handle the situation. So I don't really know. It always felt weird for me. Yeah. Any normal person would have heard the silent no in those comments. Yeah. Especially if I'm not flirting back or engaging with it. Yeah. You should mention that you aren't comfortable with talking about stuff like that. I said that at one point where I was like, yeah, sex is weird. I joke about it for fictional characters, but I don't really talk about like IRL stuff. So I said that before to like dismiss it. Right? Which kind of just means, hey, don't talk about IRL shit. Talk about fictional shit. Which I kind of say that a lot. I don't know, man. That's fucking weird. Alicia, you need to have more confidence to stand up for yourself. It's just hard to like, I'm so good at being over opinionated and a bad bitch for some things, but it's really hard for me when it's like directed towards myself. Because I always like, I don't know, man. I'm in my own head too much, which is why I need like Dawn and Facts help me so much with like when they tell me what the fuck is going on. So, yeah. has to be intentional at that point. Well, yeah, because like I've had somebody else who experienced that with the same person. So like I think he just does it to people he's trying to get with. So, but and then he asked me at one point if like I've ever considered an open relationship, which is where it really took too far for me. And that was the point where I said, no, I'm only with my husband and I only ever plan to be with him. And I don't want anything else with anyone else. And like, that's where I got like really like about it. And then he started to like go on and on about how God, he just really wants to like find someone who understands him and blah, blah, blah. And did like a lot of woe is me bullshit after. So it like redirected the conversation to that. So I didn't really know what to do. So I was just like, oh yeah, like, you know, life is hard, but you know, things get better. And, you know, just day by day, I didn't know what to do. Like, if, what do I do? What do you do in that situation? That's weird. I don't know. Anyway, so that's like a whole side bit. So, girl, weird motherfuckers on the internet? Yup.
Because according to other streamers, for example, if you would ask for nudes and they wouldn't send them, they'd just get blocked. They'd get blacklisted from parties, from events, and they would probably have rumors spread about them. It wasn't fun. Now Maya, who had long broken up with Mizkif by now, right? It's been over a year, would be forced to respond to this, saying that she didn't pressure Adriana to cover up the assault. She just wanted to make sure that it wasn't as serious as she was making it out to be, making sure that it wasn't sexual assault, while apologizing for injecting herself, admitting that maybe there was this unseen power dynamic, seeing that she was a bigger content creator than Adriana, which might have pressured Adriana into not being as honest as she wanted to. This would make her want to step away from online platforms indefinitely, and that would last for quite a while. But this was only the beginning.
Oh. I don't know. That feels fucking weird, right? I don't know if I like that Maya did that, but I like that she addressed it.
Right? Mizkif's world was truly starting to fall apart around him. Asmongold, one of the co-founders of OTK and one of the bigger streamers on the platform, would say that he's furious and that he would vow to cut Mizkif loose if he failed to act on Slick's accusations, if he failed to kick him out, if he failed to disavow him. Very shortly afterwards, and I mean everything I'm talking about right now has happened in like less than a week, right? Like literally in the span of a few days, OTK would suspend him, announcing an internal investigation over these accusations. And if that wasn't enough, Ice Poseidon would come in, make a tweet, and say, Mizkif, I brought you into this world, and now I'm taking you out. This post got so much engagement, it's sitting at over 87,000 likes, and it shows DMs with Mizkif on Twitter, in which during the RV stream too, you could very clearly see Mizkif use things like the N-word hard R, the F slur, I mean pretty much anything cancelable imaginable, right? Now why did Ice do this? Was it the fact that his career was dying at this point and wanted more relevancy? Was it jealousy?
Whoever says cancel culture is real is a fucking liar. Whoever says cancel culture is real is such a fucking liar. Because bro still had a career for 3 more years after this. None of this shit mattered. He made even more millions after this. This is 2022. What the fuck?
Was it a mix of both? Who knows? But even though some people were very outraged at this, some others were saying things like, you letting this slide for years says a lot about you as well. But don't worry, because this roller coaster was far from ending. Crazy Slick would then go quote unquote missing after he had sent goodbye messages to friends, and they would in the same day find him. Barely a couple days after Adriana had come out with her story, Mizkif would make a statement saying, hey guys, to update everyone, we found Crazy Slick. He has not harmed himself. After hearing from Adriana and the numerous other women who have shared their experiences with him, it's clear that he is not the person he made himself out to be. In terms of his living situation, Slick has been told to vacate our house as soon as possible. He would then apologize for the things he said on his alt stream, right, where he was saying, he was downplaying. He was like, you know, sexual harassment, but I don't think anyone cares. And then he'd reiterate that he was open about his past. His messages from 2018 happened, he acknowledges them, but he can't change what he said, and he knows that he's changed as a person. He would then apologize to everyone, his viewers, OTK, the staff, the partners, and would announce the fact that OTK was hiring a third party to investigate all this to make sure that he wasn't complicit. Now look, this could have
Jesus Christ.
ended here. Most dramas would have ended here. Just wait for the investigation and see what it comes up with and move on. But Adriana had other plans. She would keep going live and talk about this, and her statements would then become conflicting. She'd state things like she didn't know that it was sexual assault until recently, and was told by her friends who were still conscious at the time that Slick only touched her wrist and neck, not her chest. She would collaborate with other streamers such as Hassan Piker.
Wait, what? Hold on. Okay.
Her wrist and neck, not her chest. She would collaborate with other streamers such as Hassan Piker. She would of course keep streaming, and at some point she'd call a friend, and the friend would admit that this was never assault. So the story was becoming very convoluted, very contradictory. People didn't really know what to believe. I mean, listen to this yourself.
It's kind of a whole fucked up situation, and I don't think people are taking it, it's not like it was a full blown, like, assault, but, when you're touching someone who's incapacitated and their friends are asking you to leave the room, on top of you, already trying to kiss people.
So it wasn't a full-blown assault. He was touching her while she was unconscious, but she was told it was only her wrist and her neck. The whole chest part was only added later. So look, Slick was definitely very guilty. We had proof of messages of him being very creepy towards up-and-coming content creators. That's unacceptable. But there were questions surrounding Adriana's involvement as well as train wrecks. Train wrecks would come on multiple
Everyone left the room, he said. And she was unconscious, and he touched her neck and wrist. What? How do you even know that then if you weren't in the room? What the fuck is happening? I'm so lost. What the fuck is happening? This is so fucking... Oh my Jesus Christ.
streams. He would stream himself. He would invite other streamers such as XQC, and he would constantly reiterate that the only reason he talked about this was because victims reached out to him and were too scared to move forward with this. He would really push the narrative that no, this wasn't just crazy Slick, this was Mizkif. He knew what was happening, he was covering it up, and he had a hand in this. It seemed like he was never going to be satisfied until Mizkif's career completely imploded. Adriana would yet again keep going live, saying she hasn't changed her story, she calls out people trying to discredit her, all while talking to Keemstar, right? Not someone you really want to side with you when it comes to drama.
When it comes to Hassan, I don't fuck with Hassan, but I don't really give a shit who you watch and who you support. Because again, as long as you watch Alicia, I don't care. And just because I don't like Hassan does not mean I automatically support Asmongold. I just don't like any of these motherfuckers in the political sphere because I feel like everybody is super extreme because it gets a lot more content farm and it makes me very uncomfortable. So that's all there is to it. Which, content farm goes crazy. More drama means more money. But y'all are good, So, and they all escalate on each other and all get fucking news articles and shit about each other. So, but just because I don't like one doesn't mean I side politically with the other. I care a lot about humanitarian rights, as you guys know by far by watching me. But I just don't like political commentators in our sphere. So, but again, if you watch them, totally fine. That's your own time and your own business, baby. As long as you watch my videos, I don't give a fuck. That's all I care about. I care obtaining my bag. Thank you.
Comments on livestream fail were getting tired of her, saying everyone agrees Slick is a creep, but she should probably just stop talking. Or Maya apologized and Miz is waiting for the investigation to show him clean. What does this chick want? Slick is gone. So to many, it appeared like she was just trying to milk this at this point. At some point, Ludwig would make a video on this on his Mogul Mail channel. It would get 3 million views, and seeing that Ludwig has many people—
Yo, rip the Mogul Mail channel, bro. Rip that shit. Rip the Mogul Mail channel. That shit gone as fuck.
People who watch him that are not familiar with Twitch drama, it would make many people aware of this whole cover.
I actually liked Mogul Mail. Because I kind of like Ludwig has like this quirked up sweetheart vibe. And I liked it. Okay? Hassan killed it. No, because Ludwig has addressed that before. Hassan did not kill the channel. It was the fact that one of the sponsors were on that video of Hassan, and the sponsor didn't want that video to stay up. It wasn't about Hassan telling him to pull the video. All right? Like, don't get it twisted. That was completely about sponsorships. And as somebody who's taken a lot of sponsorships over the years, yeah, man, that shit just makes sense. That's money. Like, yeah, man. Like, I'll do whatever a sponsor tells me to do when it comes to a fucking video. It's their video at the end of the day. That's what we contractually do, you know? So I'm not gonna shit on him for that. That's creator shit, you know?
Up situation, right? He didn't really cover this favorably for Mizkif. This was yet another blow to Mizkif's reputation. Not only did people on Twitch now understand that this was going on, but normies who have yet to discover him also were.
Someone said Jellywig in chat, and I'm like, this motherfucker watches Pegasus. I had a Pegasus video autoplay the other day, and all I heard was go, Jellywig! I was like, what the fuck is this guy saying? I just started laughing. I was like, what the fuck? Like, who the fuck is autoplaying? What is this shit? And then it played the clip, let's up those numbers! When, like, Ludwig did that to, whatchamacallit, to Mango. I was like, holy fuck. That's an intro. Anyway, I don't really watch Pegasus or anything, but that was funny. That's crazy. That's a crazy intro.
Aware, oh, this guy's a weird sex pest. Now, yes, a few months later, on January 2nd, 2023, he would get reinstated in OTK once the third-party investigation would conclude that he didn't have a
No backbone? Okay, you know what? I'm gonna defend Ludwig for a second. All right, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be real with you. You don't need to have a backbone or stance about shit. If you want to just make videos on the internet, just make videos on the internet. You don't need to have a backbone. You don't need to have an opinion about everything. Just because all of the other motherfuckers are doing it around you doesn't mean that you need to. I'm just saying. So if you think he's a fence sitter or spineless, maybe the motherfucker just doesn't want to get involved because that shit messy and he's trying to vibe, which I totally respect. Like, I think that's perfectly fine.
hand in this, right? He was not complicit. He truly was lied to and he had no idea. But to Adriana, this wasn't enough. A few months later, on April 9th, 2023, she would announce that she was not just suing Mizkif, but she was also...
Again, though, just gonna put it out there, Korota, right, is like, us judging other people for judging him is also cringe. Does that make sense? Like, if people want to judge him, he's literally a public figure. Y'all can judge whoever the fuck you want to. Y'all could even judge me, right? I'm not here to, like, tell you what to think and not think. That's fine. If you want to call him spineless, call him spineless. That's your own business, right? But I personally just don't agree with it because I'm like, man, being an unproblematic king is kind of a vibe. And I'm very exhausted by motherfuckers hating on each other. That shit is tiring to me. So, yeah, man. I would be personally backed off of that.
Also suing OTK, the entire organization, for defamation, seeking over $2 million in damages. She would refer to Crazy Slick in the lawsuit as immensely popular. In reality, though, the guy barely had any viewers, right? He was just Mizkif's friend. That's why he was living with him, and that's the only clout he had. He was also not a member of OTK and not associated with the org in any way, so it definitely felt weird. That entire controversy changed Mizkif forever. In his own words, it broke him. It made him never want to trust anyone again. It really made him feel like everyone around him was trying to use him. And as you can see from his viewership, after this controversy, he would never be able to recover the fame, the numbers that he once had prior to that Trainwreck's tweet.
Yeah.
What was interesting, though, in all this is that one of the people who came out to defend Mizkif directly was none other than Emiru. As this was all happening in September 2022, she would say, "No way Mizkif knew," specifying, "You guys know I've lived with Miz for 10 months and I've hung out with him every day since I got here. The Miz that I know would never know the full story and just let that happen. There's just no way that he knew knew, I'm sorry, that's just not the person that I know. As she was fighting back tears, about to cry, she'd also say, he has always been there for me whenever something horrible happened to me without even having to ask. This is what would lead us to the next part of the story. People would notice that Mizkif and Emiru not only just shared a close friendship, there was something there, there was something happening, but they just couldn't really put their finger on it.
I mean, if she was secretly dating him at the time, you know, like that's a shitty thing for her to do, right? That is a shitty thing for her to do. But if you're dating the person and they're manipulating you and they're crying to you, yeah, I'd probably fall for it too. Right? Like if my partner was crying to me about some shit, I'd probably believe it. So I'll give her the benefit of the doubt for that. Though it is shitty that she defended him for that. But it's like, again, you would want to defend your partner and you would believe what they say. So I get it. Right? Is this pre-relationship? We don't really know the timeline of their relationship because technically they were secret about it. So it's hard to tell if they were dating or not. But I would assume they were. They were living together for 10 months at that point. And by the way she's expressing it, seems like they were. But...
until they received a clue. What would follow would be years of conspiracy theories that would be proven right in the end. This post on the subreddit Streamers was made on November 2022. The title, Emiru and Mizkif are obviously dating. Why do people pretend they are not? What wouldn't help is that a streamer by the name of Justin Minx would say that Emiru stole Mizkif from his ex-girlfriend Maya, even going as far as saying a hoe is a hoe. Minx at the time was someone who always hung around other streamers that were very well renowned in Austin, so her saying this carried a lot of weight. It added even more fuel to the conspiracies. But then, in May of 2023, the gloves would fully come off. Emiru would accidentally open a file in which she was compiling a bunch of DMs she was receiving from Mizkif. These DMs were fairly aggressive, and it was him complaining about how she acts on stream, complaining about her behavior and the people she was appealing to. This was like Christmas Day arriving early for 4chan. For months, OTK 4chan was saying that they were dating. They had a lot of suspicions with these streamers.
She was compiling 3 years ago? And stayed with him? Oh. Okay.
Behaviors, how they show up on their
I had no idea about this side of everything.
streams, their eye contact, etc.
Mizkif broke up with Maya, and then about 1 month later, Emiru moved in. Is what they said earlier in the video, right?
But this right here was real, tangible proof. Around this time, the YouTuber Bo Blacks would upload this video titled "Sharing these Mizkif Emiru DM leaks will get you banned," in which we can see these images that she leaked on her stream in very bad quality, and people of course enhanced them. Here are some examples of what Mizkif was berating her with. You literally lift your legs like a cheerleader multiple times, stick a bottle between your legs and play with it, farm those parasocial people by doing this content in the first place after claiming to me you don't want these weirdos and you hate this community and hate the just chatting community. To many, this just sounded like an over-controlling boyfriend, not a friend.
Oh, 100%. That is super shitty for him to say that. That is super shitty and super weird of him to say that. Like, her screenshotting this, good for her, right? I want to put that clear. Good for her. You should screenshot that. That's fucked up.
Who just invited you to live with him because you were worried about stalkers. This is when the conspiracy theorists would truly get to work, going back through old streams and seeing Emiru clearly
2023
have a change in behavior after interacting with Mizkif. For example, during the stream in which Mizkif was berating her for having a glass bottle in between her legs, she'd look at his messages on her phone, leave for 45 minutes, and when she would come back, she would just cry. At some point, Emiru in another streamer's chat that was a friend of hers would say, "I got a black eye a week or two ago and it's finally almost gone." Now, these conspiracy theorists were already doubting that this was because of Mizkif being abusive towards her, but they had no idea how the black eye actually looked. But thanks to Emiru leaking it on accident, since she had it open as a window and was all tabbing so people could see it for like a split second, they were able to see it. Her excuse was that she ran into a wall, but the conspiracy theorists had a very hard time believing that.
Oh no, I don't believe that at all.
What didn't help was that when it came to the people talking about this on Twitter, Mizkif would make an effort to block them, further making himself look bad. And I mean, look, this might seem obvious now that we know that, oh,
I'm gonna be real with you. I'll be blocking motherfuckers very casually. If I'm like, ew, I just block you. That's got nothing to, I don't know, man. I think that's totally chill. If you're like, ew, block them. I don't fucking care. I don't think it's a big deal, to be honest. The blocking thing, that's whatever, bro. Dude, I've blocked people for trying to at me in One Piece manga panels. Like, fuck you, bitch. Like, I be blocking motherfuckers like no tomorrow. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. Man.
Mizkif did this to Emiru. She made her stream talking about him. He's a weird guy. But back then, it was hard to actually convince the majority of people that this was reality. There were quite a few people that still managed to dislike this video. This was seen as nothing more than conspiracy slop, something that belongs on 4chan and just simply isn't reality. Because guess what? In the meantime, Mizkif and Emiru were farming content together, both growing and using each other for views. They'd react to things together, they'd collab together, and of course, all while hiding the fact that they were in a relationship. People would make clips of them, would farm views, would post them on Reddit, on YouTube. I mean, anytime there was any interaction of them flirting or being friendly to each other, people were starting to ship them. This was no surprise, as they had done so with both Maya and Mizkif in the past. This clip of both of them playing Mario, right, has over 300 million views. I wish I was joking, dude.
Oh, the BLJ clip. Yeah, I've seen this clip.
After a huge cataclysmic scandal, Mizkif was able to keep a good chunk of his career. He had done what he had always done before, but this time while keeping his relationship a secret. Except, just like with Maya, this wouldn't last too long, and he would yet again find himself alone with nothing more than his community and his channel to comfort him. On May 31st, 2024, Emiru would state on her stream that she needs to get out of Mizkif's house. She'd say, there's a lot of different reasons, but I just feel like I need to get out of this house. You know, I like living here, but there's a lot of stuff that I haven't told you guys over the years. She'd specify.
What was the One Piece manga panel? I'm gonna be real with you. I just blocked it the moment I saw a manga panel. So I didn't look at it hard enough to know. It could have been from a previous thing. It might have been an old manga chapter, but either way, I see a manga panel, that shit's blocked. I don't give a fuck. I don't even care if that shit's from Barty, dude. Fuck you. Or Barati, I mean. I don't give a fuck. Don't send me a mega panel. I don't trust you.
Specified that it had nothing to do with drama, and most people assumed like, oh, this was her stalker that she's been dealing with for years. In fact, she had multiple stalkers. Maybe that had to do with that. On July 24th, 2024, she would finally move out, but what people noticed was that she moved out all by herself. Mizkif wasn't following her, he was staying in the old house. Mizkif would make excuses for this, saying that this was because he was moving to a different state. He wanted to move to Los Angeles and leave Texas entirely. To the conspiracy theorists, though, it seemed like, no, they were actually breaking up. This was over. And he further confirmed this by running the hell away as far as possible. In the beginning of 2025, he would quote-unquote escape Austin, Texas, and would go live in Japan, spending a very long time there, streaming, making content, and overall, it seemed like he was running away from his past life. Of course, this trip wouldn't be without controversy. He would do pull-ups.
Oh, I knew about the Japan cherry blossom thing. I didn't know he lived there.
On a cherry blossom tree, which would get him in trouble with Japan since they're seen as sacred, but he would end up apologizing and we'd move on from that. Mizkif was just being Mizkif, right? Regardless, he'd get past it fairly quickly. I mean, it was nothing compared to the stuff he's been in the past, and afterwards he would finalize his move to LA, saying that it's been the best time he's had in a long time, he's been loving the people he's met, and that he's very happy about his decision. This came just as it was announced that he actually won the court case versus Adriana. Her defamation case was thrown out by the judge, deeming it not worth a lawsuit, like this was just invalid. That's probably because she decided to sue him for defamation. I don't know whose idea it was.
Yeah, suing for defamation is crazy because those cases barely get you anything, bro. Defamation's nothing.
A lawsuit about defamation in Texas is like unwinnable, and it had nothing to do with her being sexually harassed. But whatever, to him, he was innocent, and this was proof. And you know, not much would change. Even while living in Los Angeles, he would still farm clips like he always has. Like this one right here, in which he jumps into a pool and pretends like he drowned, right? Like, hilarious. At the end of May 2025, he'd make an official video saying goodbye to Austin, Texas. The fact that he's moved to Los Angeles, the fact that this was going to be a new chapter in his life. And this would actually be his attempt at completely rebranding himself, reinventing what Mizkif even means. His content would shift from being this video game-centric stream to more finance-focused. For example, in June 2024, he would bid for a broken Lamborghini so that he can fix it. Watch. He'd end up bidding $125,000 for a
$125,000 you can just throw towards a broken Lamborghini. My fucking god. Oh man, fuck my moral code, bitch. We're doing the dog shit today, baby. Oh my fuck. Oh my god. Just throwing that money like it's nothing. Like, I make the most money I've ever made from any career in my life doing this, right? I'm very financially stable and I'm doing well. But then I look at motherfuckers like this and I'm like, how? How? Fuck.
broken Lamborghini, and his goal was to repair it and make content out of it, seeing that others have done so and gotten millions of views. He would then go on a rebranding tour, right? Going on podcasts with other content creators, talking about how he was canceled, how he almost ended it all, how he was made to be a villain, how he was the victim, and how now he won the lawsuit and he's right here, ready to start over again. One of the podcasts he went to was the Iced Coffee Hour, hosted by two content creators who were very finance content focused. Here he'd explain many different things, how he was canceled, how it broke his mind forever, how he will never be the same person he used to be in the past, how he's a multimillionaire, how he's shifting towards more finance focused content because his audience has been growing up with him, and how nothing really interested him as much as entertaining people, right? It wasn't about the money for him, it was truly about just being the most entertaining possible, reaching the most amount of people.
Oh, Graham!
As this rebranding tour was happening, Ludwig would admit live on stream that the video he made about Mizkif's drama with Adriana Lee wasn't really that good. In fact, it was false and it caused severe damage, something that he regrets. He was
Okay, I see the jelly wig comment making sense now. No, the motherfuckers who said jelly wig. No, I see your point now. That's fucked. That's weird.
specified that he had apologized to Mizkif and tried to include him in his events, but Mizkif was still hurt and didn't like him, not wanting to really reciprocate. To Mizkif, this was perfect. I mean, he was on his rebranding tour, he won the lawsuit, he moved to Los Angeles, he had introduced himself to new communities through podcasts, he was changing his content format. Seeing Ludwig apologize now was the perfect timing. On October 24th, 2025, Mizkif would make a response video saying, "Look, Ludwig as well as Trainwrecks tried to ruin my life. They did inconceivable damage to my reputation, and even though I won the lawsuit, everywhere you go on other platforms, you can still see people calling me a sexual."
Dude, it was a defamation lawsuit. What are we talking about? You're not valid. What the fuck are we talking about? What? What? Oh my god. The worst part is Ludwig saying that his video was like false gave Mizkif even a better comeback story. So shit.
Like a weird sex pest, and he blames Ludwig's video for most of this damage because he actually reached a big normie audience. He would end this by saying that, "Hey, if you watched me and stopped watching me because of that incident in 2022, I ask that you give me a second chance."
Oh,
However,
the channel we're watching right now? This is Mujin. Mujin. M-U-J-I-N. Mujin. Yeah, I'll link the video in chat for you guys so you guys can go give it a good old like and comment. There you go. That's the video. For you guys watching on YouTube, it'll be linked to the comment and in the description.
even though his rebranding was going perfectly well, to the majority of people, to the conspiracy theorists who knew that he was dating Emiru, and that knew that her moving out without him meant that they broke up, they found it oddly suspicious how in the beginning of 2025, as he was in Japan, both Emiru and Maya interacted for the first time on stream and actually collabed.
Oh.
It doesn't take a conspiracy theorist to understand this. If two of your exes met up together, it's probably not because they still like you. At the same time, people started noticing other things about Mizkif that were very interesting. On the subreddit OTV and Friends Rumors, someone would post, "What is up with Pokey and Mizkif?" on October 11th, 2025. They were wondering, why has Mizkif moved to Los Angeles where Pokimane lives and they haven't collabed or interacted once? Other comments would point out, how come he hasn't collabed with many other streamers that he usually collabed with that also live in LA? It seemed like he was being isolated. What didn't help is that on the 17th of October 2025, Emiru would talk about something that seemed to be her referencing Mizkif. Watch.
And sometimes there's things in your life or
people in your life that, you know, maybe they're not good for you, and chat, sometimes maybe you have to make those choices to take those people out of your life so you can make room for the people that are right for your life, you know? And I also think it's important to never give up. This whole year, I've taken a couple breaks, but
So there she was.
God, this poor thing, dude. Oh, I feel so bad for her. Jesus Christ. This is someone who's been worn down. Oh my God.
Breaking down on an RV trip with friends, talking about cutting out people from her life, talking about how the last year in particular was very hard on her. This RV trip was actually on the way to TwitchCon, and Emiru truly couldn't catch a break because at TwitchCon she got assaulted by a random stalker. It was overall an absolute disaster. But let's take a step back for a minute. You know that clip where she's crying in the RV? This was actually downvoted to oblivion. It has 0 upvotes. And the comments were very divided. Some people would say, glad we are back to the usual parasocial streamer drama posts, and someone would reply with, you know things are going well for Mizkif when there's a random post that gets posted to stir hate for him. This is maybe the 4th this week. So see, this kind of person was seeing this as a direct attack on Mizkif for no reason because of weird conspiracy theorists. Someone else on the other hand said, damn, just say Mizkif already. But for the most part, this was really seen as some sort of weird conspiracy theorist pushing a narrative that was so out of proportion to what's actually happening that they should probably...
I'm gonna be real with you guys. These motherfuckers don't have some empathy, bro. Like... She's just reflecting. I don't know, man. I think sometimes some shit is performative for content. I'm not gonna dissuade all of it, but this seems fucked. I don't know. This just sounds fucking sad. And I don't think that's performative. I think she's just fucking sad, man.
admitted to a mental institution. However, as you may already know, people like this, as well as the many people on 4chan and other gossip forums that have been talking about Emiru and Mizkif for years now, were so damn vindicated on October 25th, 2025, when Emiru would out of nowhere make a stream that would put the final nail in the coffin when it came to Mizkif's entire career. On October 25th, Emiru would go live on her channel with a stream titled Talking About Some Things. In it, for the first time, publicly, she would reveal to us that yes, she was indeed in a relationship with Mizkif. She'd then read a carefully prepared statement from a notepad in which she would detail to us just how horrendous the years with Mizkif truly were, detailing the things he's done to her, the things he's done to others, and how much of a terrible person he truly was. As she was streaming, she would also remove him as a mod in her channel. And I kid you not, I mean look, I live streamed as soon as it was happening because it was such a big deal. That night, I opened Livestream Fail and I saw the entire front page just full of clips from her stream. It's not even an exaggeration, you can see it for yourself. Here's how she would start off her statement. Watch.
Today I'm finally going to be opening up about the psychological and domestic abuse, stalking and harassment, sexual assault, and threats of blackmail that Mizkif has done towards me, and some of these issues which are still ongoing. For the entirety of this year, I've attempted to separate myself from him and not talk about him at all, and not talk about this issue and just not make it a public thing. I always tried my...
So yeah, that was already one hell of a way to start off her statement,
Jesus,
right? But this
yeah.
entire 2-hour stream would be bombshell after bombshell after bombshell. She'd show us the ridiculous amount of texts she would keep receiving from Mizkif even after separating from him. Asking, can you please answer my phone? Writing these immensely long paragraphs about how he regrets everything, about how he wants to spend the rest of his life with her. And this would be on multiple platforms. On text messages, on Discord, on Instagram. The guy was relentless. She'd have more than 14 screenshots of him trying to pursue her on multiple platforms after she had expressed she didn't want anything to do with him anymore.
Damn, dude, leave her alone.
Like a poem. Additionally, the guy was absolutely crazy when it came to view count and numbers, something that everyone had already known about, but didn't truly understand just how screwed it truly was. Watch.
Me. He's saying like, Emmy, you know, I'm gonna kill myself. I waited, or I'm gonna KMS. I waited so long for this, etc. Basically he was upset because I had higher viewership than him. That's literally it. I had higher viewership than him, and like I said,
imagine being a successful streamer, dating another successful streamer, right? And going up to her and saying, hey, you know, I want to end it all because unfortunately you have more views than me. It's like, come on, man. Like, what are you doing? Get a grip. But the other things she had to say wouldn't be funny at all. In fact, they were very serious. You know, she'd expressed to us that their breakup wasn't as straightforward, right? They kind of lingered a little bit since she was taking a little while to move out of the house. At some point, she was crying about something. He sat next to her to comfort her, he hugged her, and she claims that as he was hugging her, as she was still crying, he would put his hand in her pants. Really good timing, Mizkif, truly. I mean, yeah, that's the first instinct you should have as a guy when a woman's crying. She would push him away from her, and he'd get up. He'd say, oh, I feel like I've done something really wrong, and I'm gonna leave now. And he just left. She'd also claimed that he was a very dangerous driver, very unstable, but how once he drove 150 miles.
I just want to say, is if he genuinely actually read the sign wrong, and a woman is, I mean, even, fuck off, right? If she's crying, you do that to her. And in his statement, he said she yelped, right? Why would you leave? Why would you not be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I totally thought, I'm so sorry. Like, why would you not try to, like, do something to comfort the human in front of you? Why would you just say, oh, I feel like I did something wrong, gotta go? Like, fuck.
Per hour, telling her that they were both gonna die because another streamer had a collab with Mr. Beast and he didn't. I mean, seriously. He is.
Bro is ready to kill them both in a car. Because someone else, Mr. Beast was having a collab with somebody. Holy shit.
Such a loser, bro. But again, it got even more serious when she would reveal the real reason behind her black eye. She'd say that he would throw plastic bottles at her that still had water in them, so they were heavy, as well as his phone at her, which eventually would cause her black eye that lasted for 1 to 2 weeks. I mean, think about it, right? For a phone to hit your face and give you a black eye, it must have been one hell of a
fucking hard.
That by itself, without mentioning anything else during her stream, is enough cause for immediate concern. That's textbook abuse right there. Additionally, she would reveal to us just how little he thought of other people in Austin, how he treated them terribly, how he belittled them, how if they couldn't contribute more view count to his stream, they were human garbage to him. Even if they were nice to him, he didn't care. She would recount a story in which someone was very nice to him, was very sweet, and he would shit talk him behind his back, which really alarmed Emiru. There was so much aggression towards someone who was nothing but nice, and there was no explanation as to why he would be angry at him other than the fact that he couldn't contribute anything to his view count. Finally, she'd end her stream by saying that she is filing a restraining order.
Man, motherfucker, I've dealt with stupid ass content creators who really be like that. Who fuck with me so heavy now that I got big numbers. You know? Them motherfuckers are weird, bro. Me? I stick to my friend group. I got friends who literally got 2 viewers, themselves and their bot. And I'll still bring them onto my fucking stream. Because I don't give a shit. I'm here for the vibes. You know? Like, god damn. But do you know how many motherfuckers reach out to me now? It's wild. Ah, no, man. I'm vibing. I'm in my own lane. I'm chilling with like Key.
On Mizkif in both Los Angeles and Texas, adding that one of the main reasons why she decided to make this stream was because at TwitchCon 2025, yes, the same convention in which she was assaulted by a stalker, Mizkif went up to her staff and told them that if she were to say anything about him, he would destroy her. How would he destroy her, you ask? Well, she explained very clearly what he would say.
Oh, I know this clip.
Multiple people have told me that his plan was to claim that I kill animals and that I killed my own rabbits, since I had several of my rabbits pass away over the course of 3 years while I lived with him.
Yeah, Rich and I watched this clip together. We were freaking out. We are like, this is fucking psycho shit.
I'm sure he's probably listening now, and it's probably gonna come as quite a shock to him that this information made its way back to me and that I've known for months.
And finally, truly, the last thing she would say here is that she says she predicts that after the statement that she had made, Mizkif would try and sue her.
Sorry, I was smiling because there's someone in chat who goes, I only watch Aliciaxlife in hopes that it'll increase my net worth. Shut up. Okay. Reading chat just fucking melts my brain sometimes. But holy shit, making that threat to destroy her life over that's so fucked up, man.
And I also wanted to say that I would not be surprised if he tries to sue me for the stream that I did today and for coming out about him.
He did end up suing her.
Not because he thinks that he would win, but for PR reasons, like a slap lawsuit. It'd be interesting if that happened, and I wouldn't be opposed to people finding out more of the truth and things that I didn't even talk about today, and what else he's been lying about. And I'm sure there's also plenty of things that even I don't know about. And yeah, there's more things that I didn't even talk about today, but I'm hoping that now that I have this out, this is the last time I ever have to talk about it.
So yeah, not only did she come out with one hell of a statement, truly something that shook the entire streaming community to its core, because everyone's heard of Mizkif, everyone's heard of OTK, but she was also out here telling us his next steps. She knew everything. And just like any online drama, when it rains, it pours. And it didn't really take that long for it to start pouring like a goddamn tsunami. Very shortly afterwards, OTK would put out a statement saying OTK fully supports its co-owner and sister Emiru, and we stand by her side and admire her strength in coming forward and sharing her story. While Mizkif was one of the several founders of OTK, the organization terminated its relationship with him some time ago for reasons unrelated to the recent events, and he holds no stake in OTK or any of our other companies. Out of respect for those who have come forward, we will let their voices speak above ours. And speaking of voices, they all started to pour in. A streamer would say, for years, on my Twitch stream, I had stated I had one bad experience with one Twitch streamer within my 9 years of streaming, and they're finally being exposed for being a terrible human. Another streamer would say, having been in this industry for years now, I've been exposed to many creeps. Sometimes when they are larger creators, I've been scared to say anything because I fear will negatively impact my career. Last weekend at a TwitchCon after party, Mizkif came up to me to say hi, but just grabbed the top half of my face. My friend was in disbelief and told me I should say something, as that was super disrespectful, but I've always been scared of offending people, and I chalked it up to him being weird. Thank you, Emiru, for bravely speaking out, and I can't
Jesus, he doesn't see people as people, man. What the fuck is happening?
It sucks that sometimes we can't express our discomfort because we fear it negatively affecting our livelihoods. So
oh, I have a question. Is this why Bao made the tweet she made? About Bao saying if a guy like approaches you as a smaller creator. Oh. Got it. With context, that makes a lot of sense. I don't think what Bao was saying was wrong. Like, cause, yeah, man. Like, I think her other follow-up responses were questionable. Her double downs were kind of questionable. I think those ones were the ones where I went, oh, Bao, no. I think the original tweet wasn't that bad. With the context of this, I don't think it's that bad. That was a crazy tweet. I think it's important to recognize that it's never all men. You know what I mean? Like, it's really important to understand when someone like her is making that generalization, it's not her saying every man does this. There is a lot of amazing male content creators who do not take advantage of others, right? And the problem is that sometimes people will feel like it negatively reflects upon themselves rather than thinking about what is actually being said, right? I think it's important to understand. Because again, there's a lot of great men out there. You've even seen me bring on a lot of wonderful men onto my content, right? And a lot of wonderful people in general. Yeah. And like, it's important to keep an eye out for yourself because there are predatory people in this scene, right? So, yeah, I think that that's an important message to hold. And I think that first statement she made was good. The other ones in the follow-up tweets were questionable. Those ones, I feel like were just because she was being attacked so heavily online, she started to double down in a very aggressive way. But I feel like that's also fair, man. If you're getting attacked on the internet, you want to defend yourself. And I get that. So I'm not going to really, I don't know, I like Bao. I would never interact with her personally, but I think the shit that she got for what she said was bullshit. That's all. I think it spiraled too hard. I think it's important also for men to feel comfortable and safe in a space. But a lot of the men who were offended don't have a following. So it's not about you. Does that make sense? Like, I'm sorry. She's not saying all men. She's not saying that the dude with like 200 average viewers is the same. No. She's talking about a guy who owned a fucking company. That is not the same. Right? And it's like, it sucks when it's like shifted to be about things that aren't what it's about. So, she also had a crazy year this year, yeah. So just want to like put it out there. Is like of course, to like respect and appreciate men is important. I'm not going to say anything that would belittle men. That feels dumb and lame. But I think it's also important to recognize that people in positions of power sometimes are fucking dog shit. And a motherfucker with 200 viewers is not going to be doing the same shit that Mizkif can do with his power. That's not the same level, bro. Like, that's not the same level. You ain't that level. Don't be offended. You can't be offended because you're not in the right tax bracket to be offended. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what was weird to me. Like, a lot of dudes who got mad at her aren't the people she's talking about. So, like, why are you mad? I'm just saying, like, get offended over some shit that she'd be offended over.
Yeah, you know, he just walked by and instead of saying hi, he just grabs the top half of someone's face. I think this is what happens when you reach such a crazy fame level that you start seeing people as genuine NPCs, as objects, as people that don't really matter, like they don't exist. Now look, at this point, I'm not really surprised when it comes to streamers and content creators being outed as weirdos. Unfortunately, you've come to expect these things, but still, as someone who actually does cover these things, well, for a living at this point, I still managed to get shocked at one thing in particular though. Wreckful was one of the OG Twitch streamers, right? He was the pioneer.
I only
the
knew about him
inventor,
after he
pretty much,
passed
of
away,
text-to-speech
unfortunately.
Donations, for example. Tragically, in the summer of 2020, he jumped out of a balcony and, well, left this planet. For many streamers and content creators, this is a very sensitive topic, as he was a very nice guy who clearly had mental problems. As the controversy with Mizkif was happening, someone would uncover a clip of Wreckful from a long time ago in which he would call out Mizkif for being a bad friend that only cares about clout. Watch.
How does it feel knowing there are some people who like you because you are famous? It fucking sucks. See, I know for a fact that me going live right now raises the chance that Mizkif doesn't ignore my texts and hang out with me by like fucking 69,420%, you know? It's fucking actually nuts.
Oh, that's so sad. Oh, that's so fucking sad, dude. Oh my god. Just feeling used. Just feeling used as a friend. Someone earlier in chat says, is it wrong to think that gender should be irrelevant when it comes to people being a bad person? Yeah, gender is irrelevant. When people can be shit no matter what you are. You could be non-binary and be the biggest fuckhead known to man. Gender does not matter. The problem is, though, is reoccurring statistics, right? So when someone uses a generalization, right, it's because it's common occurrence, right? For example, if I go bitches be crazy, that's because a lot of bitches be crazy. Does that mean every woman is crazy? No, right? It's just understanding is that when we talk about generalizations, doesn't mean that we specify every single person involved in that gender or group. I'm bitches. Shut up. But yeah, like, I think it's important to recognize that. Right?
Now this sucked, but it wasn't what truly shocked me. It was this tweet from the content creator Arya Saki, who was a close friend of Byron, otherwise known as Wreckful. She started this off from a quote from Mizkif in 2025.
Arya said what? So for those of you guys who don't know Arya does like a lot of cooking streams and makeup streams, and she's like the wife of Twitch. She has the most like, she does like other girly pops makeup and she does cooking streams. And I love that. She's very like wife goals. Right? So like her saying this in a tweet blows my mind. Right? No, she is quoting him. I'm well aware of that. But her tweeting that is so crazy to me. Holy shit.
She said, one of the reasons Byron killed himself was because he was jealous of me. She would then state that the reason why she had even reached out to Mizkif in 2025 was because
she's very much a girl's girl, if he's so stan.
Serious talk. She was coordinating with Emmy and she wanted to play the middleman. She knew of his terrible treatment towards others and wanted to see if he truly felt remorse after all the controversies he's been through, if he's actually changed. But with that statement, she confirmed, no, actually, he was even worse than he used to be. Arya would specify that she knew Byron very well and that she spoke with him every single day leading up to when he left this planet.
Oh,
and not
honey.
once did he mention Mizkif's name, not even once. I mean, dude, this genuinely left me speechless. We're out here talking about the final nail in the coffin. Bro, there is no coffin anymore. It's been rendered to ashes. Like, what the hell is going on? But we weren't done yet. A producer who had worked for an OTK event that featured Mizkif would come out and talk about her experience with him. She'd say that others were more fit to host, but Mizkif insisted that he wanted to host himself. Okay, cool. Usually for an event on stage that's live, she has to present to you everything that's going to happen, where you can step, where you can't step, what to expect, what not to expect. But Mizkif kept telling her he was too busy, so she actually offered to come to him and explain. She did that and actually drove to his house. Now usually there would be rehearsals, there would be practice. He wouldn't show up to any of that. He'd only show up barely an hour before the event was meant to start, so she ran him through everything very quickly, even though they were meant to rehearse. And
God.
it was obvious he didn't really do that much of a good job. What she noticed
Hollywood egos, bitch. I hate motherfuckers. Okay? No matter how much clout and how much doubloons you have, respect people's time.
though was that after the stream, he was feeling down. Everyone was around him comforting him, and no one paid mind to the producer who tried to avoid this from happening. The guy wanted to always be at the center of the spotlight, but was unprofessional and disregarded everyone around him. That lines up with what Emiru said, and I mean, there's another clip literally of him on stream admitting this, but people saw it as a joke and didn't take it seriously. Watch for yourself.
I'm gonna come to my family reunion.
Only if I could take a picture and say fun with the family.
No, I don't. I actually don't want you to go. It's because you're like a psychopath. Miz, when you're normal.
I find Cinna so precious, by the way. Anytime I see any clip of Cinna, my heart grows 3 sizes. She just exudes just the cutest energy, and I don't know why, but I love it. Every time I see a clip of her, I smile.
Even at parties, you stand around like this with a drink, and then you walk up to people and you're like, you know, I wouldn't talk to you if your viewership wasn't as high, you know? Like, that's literally what you do all the time. And you're ego asshole.
Because I don't take any of you seriously because you're not actually my friends. No, I'm sorry. You know you're my friend. And is Cinna a real one? No. Okay, let's begin on this whole thing.
This clip is perfect to truly show you who Mizkif truly was, okay? He was in his natural habitat here. Whenever someone would bring up something serious, hell, even morbid, I mean, the fact that he saw everyone as objects, that no one was his friend, he would always manage to deflect and make it a farmable clip. I mean, if you posted this on social media or Reddit, it would get upvoted like crazy. Anytime someone would have criticism or become serious, he would always...
Do you know what's crazy? Is that would seem like such a funny, normal clip if it wasn't for the fact he actually thinks that. You know what's like, right? That's like a funny little clip. If it wasn't for the fact it's fucking real, like, Jesus, that's so crazy.
turn it around, and people would say, oh, you know, that's just Mizkif being Mizkif, right? That's not actually how he behaves off stream, I'm sure. He's just doing this for the content. Everything was for the content. People
Right,
also found
yeah.
clips of him admitting the fact that, yes, he had a fear of his ex Maya surpassing him in viewership. Watch for yourself.
I was terrified. I couldn't understand what was happening. My viewers were dropping, Maya's were only going up. And there was a part of me that thought that I was going to be smaller than her, and I don't know if it was my ego or what, but I couldn't take it. I felt like shit. And I was on the phone with Austin, and then XQC, I somehow got on a call with him, and he talked to me for hours, making me feel better about it. And he did. And I genuinely, after talking to him, felt a lot better. And I don't think he even realizes what he did for me in that call, but he really did help me a lot. I was not...
These fragile little bitch-made feelings and egos, bro. These sad little fucking tiny dick, low-hanging balls. One of them are shriveled up like a fucking prune-ass balls motherfuckers, man. What? Why are you not proud of your partner for doing well? Why are you jealous, you dumb fuck? This is so insane. Like, shut the fuck up. This is so stupid. So stupid. They're getting into the call with the boys so they can be like, don't worry, bro. Women will never succeed like men do on the platform, so it's all good, bro. You'll be up above her any day. Like, shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up!
Non-stop. It's all I could think about is that she was beating me as a streamer and I was gonna die. But then he reminded me that women have a cap and men just grow as streamers, and that's pretty much just fucking it. So
Thank you, SQC, for your wise and wonderful wisdom. Damn. I do love taking my intellectual takes from XQC, my God King. Thank you so much. Fuck.
felt a lot better after that. I really did. So thank you to XQC.
Right, so as ridiculous as this statement was, the chat was full of hearts, okay? Everyone was there to support him. Everyone was like, "Aw, like he was insecure and now he's over it." How did he get over it? Women have a cap. Men to the moon, baby. Oh my God. I mean, he
So
wouldn't just
stupid.
talk about this
It's
behind
so
Maya's back. He
stupid.
would say it to her face during a stream. Look at this.
I succeed.
No, okay. No. I used to get upset. I'm not kidding you, chat. I used to legitimately get fucking pissed because I'm like, are you fucking serious? I brought this bitch into the world, and now all of a sudden she's fucking growing faster than I was. Because I was going like this, and she was going like this.
That's such a... Did you see the look on her face when he said that? Oh my God, that hurt her so badly the moment he said that. Does she have a black eye? It looks like she has a black eye, but she might just have that from... Like, this is, I don't know, she might just have that from her... She has like a whole animal sanctuary thing going on. So I'm not going to assume for that one, but she does have a black eye there, yeah. But... Oh my God, the way he's hurting her emotionally.
And I'm like,
Jesus
what
fuck.
the hell is this crap? What is going on here? It's the fucking Babsity effect. So I was pissed. I'm like,
Oh, her emu bit her for that one, I think. Okay, yeah. I was like, they would have brought up something before if this was like more of a conspiracy about her having this black eye, like they did with Emiru. But okay, that's just one of her like rescue pet things. Yeah.
The fact
You
that
were
can
such a
say
pussy.
the fact that you can say that and feel like it's okay that you felt that way and just be like, yeah, I was like that is crazy. That's bad.
is it bad?
Yes.
And guess what? I don't care anymore.
That's bad.
But I don't care anymore. And I stopped caring.
He's okay as long as I never have more viewers than him. If I ever surpassed him in viewership, which will never happen.
Oh, she'd be done.
he would
I'd
be
pull the plug.
He could not take it.
He'd pull the plug, guys. Did that mean he would end the relationship, or would that mean that he would cut the internet router, which he had done before, by the way? At some point, she had surpassed him in viewership, and her stream went offline. Yes, he was that petty. Also, I want to point out how he said that he had brought her into this world. Mizkif truly felt this way, right? He actually felt that he brought her into this world.
I'm just like, it's like there. I thought you could only be so much of an asshole, right? This guy's fucking insane. Jesus, this is like, oh
So
my
he was
God.
owed that he stayed bigger than her, and yet no one saw the red flags here either. It was just Mizkif being
But remember, guys, at the beginning of the video, he's just like you. That's why we like to see Mizkif rise. Because he's just one of us, guys. And if he can date Maya, that means we all have a chance to get a girl like that. No. Bad chatter. No. Sit.
Mizkif. It was just for the content, guys. It was just for the clips. Anyway, other streamers would mince no words. Like Asmongold, he'd just straight up say, fuck off, have some dignity, and retire. He was over this. He'd also say that he's known about this for 6 months. Emiru, Sina, and Valkyrie, right? Some of the biggest female content creators would reach out to him, ask him for advice. And he wouldn't say anything because he didn't want this to come out without Emiru's consent. He'd end this by saying that he regrets ever platforming Mizkif and giving him any sort of viewers. Another Austin...
You know what? I appreciate that Asmongold said that. Right? I think we can all agree. We can all appreciate that.
A streamer by the name of Kyuko would also come out with her side of the story regarding Mizkif, saying that during their first hookup, she was so drunk she couldn't even keep her eyes open. She was initially supposed to crash on the couch, but somehow ended up in Mizkif's bed. He would then have his way with her, and she was too dizzy to care, and then she'd say that he coached her to say that it was consensual afterwards, to the point where he was so sweet to her that they ended up even having a consensual fling. When that fling ended, she would notice that terrible rumors would start to spread about her. People would hear that she was manipulative, bad, awful. Mizkif would go as far as telling others that she... God, how do I say this without being demonetized? He'd say that she would produce lines of ketchup from her arms with a sharp object while having sex. Yes.
What?
I really
That's
hope
an
clear
insane
enough.
thing
When
to
she got
make
in a
up.
relationship with Hikari,
Jesus.
he would still constantly shit-talk her and spread rumors about her. So that's how it worked in Austin, right? Everyone was trying to make it as a content creator there, and at the top of the food chain, you had the OTK boys. Rumors could make or break all your collaborations, all your invites to parties, and no one would bother messaging you to verify. Austin in general was a hellhole, okay? It was like Game of Thrones. As this was all happening,
Bro, like, so much weird shit happened when, like Adora was a bitch to people, right? And I was friends with Adora. And she was a bitch to people. I didn't know about it because she would invoke my name to ego check people, which was really shitty of her to do, right? And I had no idea because like I'm just there vibing and I always see the good side of people whenever they show it to me, right? I'm fucking naive as shit. Radia was also terrible towards me though. And when I went against Radia, people were like, she's defending Adora. I'm like, no, I don't like either of them. Please leave me alone. Ah! Like, leave me alone. They're both weird. Help! Save me from these women. Oh no, Dora seems so nice. She did seem nice, but no, she bullied people. Anyone nuclear, no pun intended. Yeah. I don't know. Radia and I like fell apart becoming friends way before the drama happened. It was like, bro, that they're both just weird, man. Those are some weird motherfuckers for real. And I dipped. At least you can hang out with Palm now? Dude, the thing that bonded Palm and I was like, bro, what the fuck is your friend group? These motherfuckers are crazy, dog. And Palm, I was like, Palm, are you normal? I need to know. If you're weird, I need you to also leave. She goes, I'm normal. I go, sick. I just grabbed Palm and pulled her in. I took Palm in the divorce. I was like, oh, cool, you're normal. Thanks. Like, holy shit. Trauma bonding over broken friendships been there? It's so real. Dude. I was like, Jesus, these motherfuckers are crazy. Like, oh, hell no. Like, it was weird. It was weird. Like, oh. Yeah, the dip it. Grabbed and dipped. 10 out of 10 move. Yeah, man. I think, like, it's both of them. It's not even like I side with Adora or I side with Radia. I just think they're both messy, bro. I'm out. And initially, I was like, oh my god, people are jumping on Adora. This is really fucked up. Until I realized she also used me. And I was like, oh, wow, that sucks. Okay, you fucking suck too. Everybody sucks. Leave me alone. Everybody leave me alone. High school drama. These motherfuckers are all in their 30s. You can't be in your 30s acting like children. Meanwhile, Palm and I are the same age and we're younger than everybody. So we're like, dude, Palm and I are like, guys, what's happening? Guys? Like, insane. Took Palm in the divorce so you can watch Dexter together. Yep. Insane. Yeah. The cycle continues. Yeah, I'm just glad to like have my little friend group and not expand. I expanded collab with some people still, outside in the VTuber space and stuff, because a lot of them I do love. But, you know, I keep that shit with a poking stick at it. Like, I don't know if I trust these motherfuckers no more. These shits are weird. I think the people I interact with more are the people who talk to me before I got numbers. And I realized all the people who talk to me after I started having bigger numbers, I don't really fuck with now. And that's something I've had to like learn. Cause like, again, those people, right? Like meeting Adora and Radia was after I already became a large YouTuber. And it's like, man, all the drama people I've ever met and had to cut off all met me because I was a large YouTuber. But the motherfuckers who liked me back in the day or reached out to me back in the day, I was just too antisocial to hang out with them. I'll fuck with them. So people like, for example, Phoenix. Phoenix is a sweetheart. Him and I plan on collabing probably in a few weeks. Really love him. Merryweather was so sweet to me before I even made it big. Just an absolute gem. Love him. Right? So like there's like a lot of people who are like really good people in the scene. So I don't want it to ever seem like, oh, just because there's a few bad eggs, they're all bad. Makari is amazing. Makari is one of the people who understand my social battery is very low, and she will put the effort to reach out over and over again, even if I'm like bad at responding. And I really appreciate that. Iron Mouse, I don't talk to Iron Mouse, but Iron Mouse has reviewed my outfits and stuff before, so I don't really have a personal connection to make there. But I'm talking about the ones who I've personally talked to and I appreciate. Yeah. So, yeah, like, there's like a lot of very sweet people. It's just hard for me to like befriend newer people who haven't talked to me until I became popular now because of what I went through with the other chickadees earlier this year, you know? But I'm also very comfy with who I hang out with now. I'm so comfy, right? I'm so happy and comfy in my little circle, in my little space. I'm just chilling.
A clip would resurface that was posted recently. I mean, this was in 2025 of the two streamers Yugi and Arky teasing Mizkif
I saw this clip!
Emiru being happy without him, right? Implying that they were in a relationship, even though this wasn't public yet. Mizkif's reactions were definitely interesting, to say the least. Watch for yourself.
This clip is fucked.
Dude, you know, one of my favorite collabs was Emiru, bro.
Oh my god, Emerald was so cool.
I'm gonna keep it a buck.
Dude, everyone was like so cool.
Emerald, bro, I didn't think Emerald was gonna tap in with us. That's the thing, because we were with Cinna and Bonnie, but it's
Look at him. He's already shaking his head no. Look at him. He's turning red and he's shaking his head no. Insane, bro. Insane. He's so mad. He's so mad that they're saying that, oh, we fuck with Emiru so heavy. Oh my god. Oh my god. Rack, welcome in. Thanks for the raid, homie. Welcome in. Welcome in.
So far, except for like,
I feel like there has to be like a chance or like.
Look at his face, dude. He wants to punch them so bad.
But definitely, like Emerald is definitely probably one of the best.
You think that phases me at all?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
What do you mean? That like none of this like I don't even understand. Bro, you can't hurt me. There's nothing you can do.
What are you talking about?
No, I'm not.
Bro is insane. Bro is insane. Bro, you are literally being phased, bro.
I'm talking about anything.
We collabed with Cinna, Bonnie, and Emerald the other day.
That's great. That's fine. Enjoy yourselves, brothers.
Brothers. Get this motherfucker. This is a clown off the screen. Get this clown off the screen.
Bro, are you okay? Are you good?
Are you good? Yeah, I'm good. I just gotta go to the bathroom. Like, give me a minute.
Dude,
no, I'm fine.
it's okay.
I know it's okay.
Dude, wait, what's wrong?
Are we in therapy or something, bro?
Bro, they don't even know what the fuck. They're like, what is wrong with you, dude? Are you good? What's wrong with you? Are we in therapy or something? What's happening? Like, dude, what the fuck?
Okay.
You said nothing. You said you did a collab. That's cool.
Sorry. Somebody in chat goes, I'll take I have a black friend for 110, Alex. I'll take I have a black friend for 500, Alex. All right. When you're addressing a fellow black friend, what do you refer to them as? Brothers. My neighbor.
It's fine. I have no problem with that. I told you there's no issue.
You used to live with Emerald, and then all of a sudden you wanted to use Emerald to become bigger, and you couldn't, so then you...
Look at his face, dude. He's about to murder them in broad daylight.
Oh my god, he looks like he's about to pull out a knife. This motherfucker looks crazy. Mujin's laugh brings me joy.
What even are you spitting?
dude, everyone used to always be in a room. Now she's like going IRL and having fun and doing a lot of cooler stuff now.
It's a good thing she disconnected from me because
Thank the Lord.
Oh, I love these two. These two, the moment they saw him being this weird, they go, thank God she disconnected from you. You were like, they're just calling it out to his face. I love them. Oh, they've been doing the shit nobody else is willing to do. Love them. Oh, real.
Brought down the vibes with Emerald, dude.
Yeah.
Facts.
Wait, Emery was actually having so much more fun. Like she's IRL, she was grilling, doing all.
He was triggered beyond belief, dude. It was insane. Looking back at this now, it's even crazier. Now look, at this point, the entire world was on fire, right? That's how it felt like. People, including myself, were wondering, okay, when is Mizkif going to respond? Is he going to need a day, a couple days, hell, a week? Is he going to disappear? What's going on here? To many people's surprise, a few hours after Emiru's stream,
This is probably the biggest fucking most insane response. The only way this shit could have been weirder is if he busted out a ukulele and played it with his ass hairs. Like, this response is that garbage. Oh, I'm so ready.
Stream, he would go live himself. The stream would last around 40 minutes, and it would be an absolute disaster, okay? It was very obvious that he very quickly kind of came up with a statement, didn't really rehearse, didn't really ask anyone's opinion, and just went with it. He would confirm the majority of the things that Emir was saying. The fact that he controlled her, told her to dress older, stop wearing pajamas, prevented her from traveling without him or going out with certain people, pretty much confirming that he was a very controlling and crazy boyfriend. He'd say things like, oh, you know, the reason why she got a black eye was because I threw my phone at the bed and it bounced back. It wasn't me throwing the phone at her. But hey, she was also abusive too because she threw plushies at him. I'm not even joking. He said that with a straight face. He said that the first year was wonderful with her. They kept everything secret.
If you throw a plushie at me, I will call it a hate crime. If I what the fuck are we talking about? What are we talking about? Like, this is insane. Like, what are we doing? Oh my god.
He had a doggy door on his door, and that's how Emir was able to go into his room while keeping it a secret from his other roommates. And just as Emiru had predicted, right? Like word for word, he would show a video of how Emiru's rabbit cages looked, right? Implying that she was abusing them and that they died because of her lack of care. He'd say that she had too many, she couldn't take care of all of them, and she was directly responsible for them dying. Look, I can tell you right now, having watched all this stream live, this was maybe the only notable thing he had against Emiru, okay? I mean, the whole thing was a disaster. He still had a...
Yeah, like the state of that cage is concerning, right? Like, let's acknowledge that. You threw a fucking phone at her face. You tried to make a move on her while she was crying. You, like, threatened to kill yourself and her in a car because Mr. Beast had a collab. You are not the same. What?
Alerts on. Someone was donating 7777 as he was saying very serious things. He'd make a couple jokes here and there, just like Mizkif always would, trying to deflect, but this time it wouldn't work. And yeah, before I forget, when...
Yeah, rabbits do die easily, and they do breed a lot. So her having a fuck ton of rabbits and some of them just dying is pretty fucking normal. Like, that is what it is, right? So, insane.
It came to that story where he sexually assaulted her. He wouldn't say that they were hugging as she was crying. He said that they were cuddling, and he thought that this was where it was headed. It was an honest mistake. Yes, him slipping his hand in her pants was an honest mistake. Anyway, saying that the whole rabbit thing was the only dirt he truly had on Emiru, one of her friends of over 10 years would come out with his own statement saying that no, she doesn't abuse her animals. In fact, what happened was that this cage in particular was left behind because she was moving out to a new house alone and took her bunnies with her already. He'd of course talk about how dirty rabbits are, about how often they poop, about how they poop up to 200 to 300 pellets per day and that it doesn't smell. He'd argue that the rabbits that did indeed die had bad genetics. It was simply unlucky. He'd show us a picture of the new cage in her house and would indicate that everything was normal there.
Good friend for standing up and saying all this shit. Good for them. Good.
Finally, he'd mention how Mizkif would refer to them as rabbits, but he doesn't even know any of their names, not a single one, saying that to him this was nothing more than opportunity and he actually didn't really know anything about them. And just as he thought that things couldn't get worse, here is truly a display of how dangerous parasocial viewers can be. There are people who are saving clips for years, waiting for the day that Mizkif gets cancelled so that they can resurface them for everyone to see. At some point, Maya was on a podcast, and Mizkif comes in and pulls off her headphones in a very weird way. This was years ago, okay? And someone posted it shortly after Emiru had come out with her statement to showcase that Mizkif has always been weird to his partners. Watch.
I think Miz is coming up here, but I think it's chat ratted on him.
Oh, spam when you say something, Maya. They spam for like...
Loser!
Oh, there he is! He's
loser!
Third place. That's third place. That's third place.
Loser.
Third place.
Loser.
Second loser.
Loser.
Matt, if you broke that headset, you are DMing Shroud right now.
We double dropped it. Go get the sim jar.
Throw the sim jar.
He's in trouble.
Oh my god. Oh, is he coming back into the frame?
What an attention whore you are. Oh, he doesn't have the thing on.
Oh.
Oh, damn.
So the poster would argue that this is...
What the fuck? You came into her room because you knew she was live to take off. Who screamed? I think she did. Like, she was just mad and frustrated, just yelled. dropped it on the ground. She goes, hey, don't do that. If you do that, you're gonna have to pay Shroud, right? Keeps dropping it intentionally. Tries to unplug her microphone while he knows she's working? What the fuck are we doing?
Important context. Emiru describes Mizkif downplaying all the objects he threw at her as simple jokes. Anything he did that was weird was defended as a shtick, as content, as clip farming. So yeah, this was definitely weird, and he did this shortly after losing a tournament in Mario Kart, I believe, on stream. Another old clip, I don't know from where, would get dug out from the dredges of the swamp, right? It would be a 1:21 clip in which you could hear Mizkif berating Maya, saying, get the fuck out of the house. Now look, unfortunately, most of this clip would get interrupted by donations, very cringy, stupid, loud donations. But yeah, you could see him screaming at her. I mean, look, this is like a short snippet of what happens. Watch.
You're a dumbass, Maya. You're dumb. Is what he said there.
He'd be screaming at her, saying, "You're a dumbass. You are dumb, Maya."
Oh, okay. Never mind. Okay, so he's gonna say the same thing as me. Okay, never mind.
So overall, these past clips are indicating to us that he's always been this way to his partners. He's always kind of treated them badly. It is important to mention that Maya hasn't said anything.
Captions are on. It's just if it's too static, he's not gonna auto-generate. But we both said it. What he said.
Since this happened with Emiru, right? And I don't think she will. She's too busy managing her wildlife.
Dude, the thing that's like so fucking sad is if your partner ever fucking yells at you that you're dumb, leave. I am so sorry to anybody who thinks that that's an acceptable thing and you stay. Like, it is so heartbreaking. Being frustrated and raising your voice is a thing, sure, but the moment they start belittling you, there's no respect there. Like, that's so sad. God.
Sorry to care, but at this point, you don't really need to go back to his previous relationship with Maya to really see how bad of a person he was with Emiru, you know? And just as Emiru had predicted, barely a week after her stream, Mizkif would file a defamation lawsuit against her and Asmongold. Now you ask any lawyer, like Legal Mindset for example, about how this lawsuit's gonna work, what are the odds of him winning, and it is hilariously bad. Look, just to explain to you, when you sue someone for defamation in Texas, right? This isn't Japan. You can't sue someone for defamation because they made you lose money as they were saying the truth. Like, for example, you harass a coworker, it's true, they talk about it publicly, they make you lose your job, you can still sue them and get money out of them because they cause you to lose money. It doesn't matter if it's true or false. In Texas, though,
favorite sideman is Harry. Sorry, just answering the person in question.
It's different. You have to prove that the people you're suing knowingly lied, right? They said those things and knowingly lied about you. You have to prove that they knew that they were lying, and you have to prove that this cost you severe monetary damage. How the hell do you prove that someone was knowingly lying about you? And by the way, lying. They have to be lying. It's not like Japan where they can be telling the truth and you can still sue them. It's clear that Emiru has a team of lawyers. She was reading a very well-prepared statement. Nothing she said, as far as she knows, is a lie. So again, just as she said on her stream, he will attempt to sue her even though he has no chance of winning. He will lose this lawsuit, and I don't even know why he's bothering. Adriana Lee lost against Mizkif and OTK for a reason, right? As you remember, she sued for defamation. Right now, if you go to Mizkif's Twitter profile, you'll see in his bio, still owner of OTK, now in lawsuit. As if that'll change anything. But hey, it seems that Emiru is doing fine at least. On November 7th, she would appear on someone else's stream and would say that she was considering replying to Mizkif's poem that he sent her, but then found out it was written by AI. She laughed about it. And as I'm recording this part of the video,
he wrote me a poem. You know what? Maybe I will reply. And it's AI.
On the 12th of November 2025, she went live for the first time since she talked about Mizkif. She has of course more viewers than him. Let's hope he doesn't drive 150 miles per hour in his car, but if he does, let's hope it's on an empty road with no innocent bystanders. Now Mizkif, on the other hand, during his stream, would say something very interesting. The fact that he doesn't care anymore. The fact that he was going to go quote-unquote demon mode against everyone now. He was going to expose everyone. Text messages, proof over the next couple of days. I, as well as many others, were looking forward to it.
Holy shit, in the top left. Oh, my chat's kind of covering. It says, did Hassan zap his dog? Motherfucker, focus on what Mizkif is saying. Brother, lock in. His chat is so focused on other shit. What are we doing?
What does he have to expose after being, like, completely destroyed in public? Well, nothing. It's been 16 days, and he hasn't posted anything. Demon mode my ass. The only thing Mizkif has posted was on November 7th. It would be on his Instagram, and it would be an absolute disaster. I don't even know what this is, dude. Just watch for yourself.
Fuck you. Motherfucker.
What? What?
I don't know, man. Can someone in the comments explain to me what this
What the
means?
fuck does that
'Cause
mean?
To me, it just seems like he's
What is-
acting like a victim. Like, dude, we're not saying fuck you for no reason. There's a reason people are giving you the middle finger. It's insane what ego
what the
does
fuck?
to someone. On his YouTube, on the other hand, he just keeps posting shorts of his previous content as if nothing had happened. Look, this is him getting a hair transplant. Isn't that wonderful? As if nothing had happened, right? God, I mean, what can I even say about this? I was there to witness this guy rising above all else in the streaming world at a speed never before seen. But I was also there when he tried to play himself out to be the victim when Adriana
Listen,
Lee-
chat, I'm about to go demon mode. I'm about to upload hella videos, bro. That's it. That's the only demon mode I got, buddy. Unlucky.
went after him, as well as train wrecks. I was there when he was attempting to rebrand himself. I mean, I literally watched his Iced Coffee Hour podcast, and I was there when I watched it all get absolutely destroyed in real time in one night. Mizkif, just like many other content creators before him, is the same warning that we've heard 1,000 times over. Once you reach those high numbers, once you start making a lot of money, once you start feeling invincible, it is so important to stay grounded with the people that you keep around you. It is so important to not let ego take hold of you. Was Mizkif always some sort of psychopath, or did that only happen once he started gaining more popularity? Who knows? What I do know, though, is
Probably
that he
always
did
was.
all of this to himself. He has no one else to blame, and that's a fact. At this point, there's nothing he can do. Even an apology won't do anymore.
He transplanted some of his eyebrows to his hairline. W chat
He's
message.
screwed up too many times in the eyes of the internet. Does that mean he has no fans whatsoever? Does that mean his career is truly over, one and done? Of course not. It's never that simple. I always
Also, no one can ever truly be canceled. People will still watch him. That's the reality of life. No one ever truly gets canceled unless they actually get banned off the platform. He will be perfectly fine. That's the reality.
say this, but if Dr. Disrespect can still have a successful career after messaging a minor,
Yeah, if Dr. Disrespect can still have a career after messaging a minor, no one gives a fuck, right? We're in a day and age where you can literally do that shit and come back like nothing happened. And still have thousands of fans and thousands of live viewers. Yep.
anyone can. But we both know that that's not enough for Mizkif, okay? He wants higher viewers. He wants to be the center of attention. And while he could probably keep having thousands of concurrent viewers, people who cannot let go of their parasocialism when it comes to Mizkif, he'll never...
Someone says, but this is messed up. So is messaging a minor. Yeah, and guess what? People are still gonna watch them because they don't care. That's the sad thing about everything, you know? Like, yep.
never be able to attain his average...
People still watch fucking Jack Doherty. Like, and that motherfucker's like literally hell's spawn.
viewer count of 40,000 that he had back in 2021, and that's truly what could make him stop streaming and retire for good. Is he actually going to go demon mode? Is he actually going to expose other streamers? I doubt it. Is he going to win his lawsuit? Hell no. Is he going to keep streaming? Time will only tell. Either way, he's paused all comments on his videos and
He got locked up. Oh, I have the Atozy video lined up. I haven't watched it yet. We're doing that together now.
He's the victim and that he's done nothing wrong.
We'll see it together,
I
chat.
wish Emiru and the victims the best. I hope they can move on from this. And when it comes to Mizkif, I just hope that justice is served as it's meant to be. Thank you so much for watching until the end. Let's hope this year can end on a good note. 2025 has been ridiculous. And I'll see you in the next video, whenever that is. I love you. Mwah.
Love you too. Mwah. I honestly am so appreciative of Mujin and the work he puts into his videos. There was so much in this that I just didn't know that he like filled in for us, which he's just fantastic. I love him. And I sat here, his video was 1 hour, 24 minutes. We've been sitting here for 3 hours and 8 minutes. All right. Thank you so much, Mujin, for feeding us, for feeding my community. I don't shut the fuck up, but I appreciate his Cinder video is 6 hours long. Yeah, we're not covering that. I'm sorry. I don't got it in me. For the Cinder doc, I only read the part about Aru because I'm friends with Aru. And I said, if you fuck over Aru, I don't fuck with you. And she fucked over Aru, so I don't fuck with her. That's all I really care about. Like, if you fuck with my friend, I don't fuck with you. That's it. So, like, I don't know, man. I don't give a fuck what the rest of her Google Doc says. Like, Aru's an absolute sweetheart and deserves the world. And being rude to her, I don't fuck with. Anyway. Yep. The Aru's called it. Yer. But again, if you're someone who watches Cinder, I don't give a shit what you do with your time and who you watch. As long as you watch me, baby, that's what's up. Don't give a fuck what you do, as long as you watch me. Anyways, thanks for watching. We'll catch y'all later. And don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time. Bye.